Martin Luther King. He's dead and gone, history recorded, and posterity is always there. I'd like to say good morning to all of you this morning. Today is Thursday, 22nd January 2026. Good to go. It's always a pleasure to be here in the morning. It's a privilege. It's not a right. Glory be to God in the highest. If you're bereaved this morning, we share our sympathy with you. We say, take silence in the Lord. Be strong. You have to live now for the others. Sometimes you are the person in the family everybody look up to. And so when you break down, everybody will break down. You got to be strong. Sometimes, yes, it's good you cry out. You got to be strong. People look up to you. At the most critical time, decision making is crucial, and so everybody looking up to you. Our condolences for whoever you may have lost. And if today's your birthday, we'd like to say happy birthday to you, whatever the occasion is. We say we wish you well, yeah? This is the OK Morning Rush on 99.5. My name is Piso. We're moving on. We'll go to the BBC shortly to give you a gist of what's going on. Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo Nyantit is making Liberia's case at a global forum. She's there with the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Gafwan, and Jeff Blibo, the head of the National Investment Commission, trying to explore existing opportunities, and find some things for Liberia, good for our country. We're coming right back. Keep listening to us. The best thing in the morning, we never lied to you, my friends. No. Okay, welcome to the show. Thanks to all of you. Let's go straight to the BBC and get you acquainted with some of the things happening. The life of Uganda's veteran opposition figure Kizza Besigye is in danger, his wife has said after visiting him in prison. He is extremely weak, said one in Bayaman in a statement posted on X. The 69-year-old politician had been taken overnight to a medical facility, the People's Front for Freedom Party said, without specifying what he was suffering from. A prison service spokesperson denied that Besigye's health was dull, describing his visit to a doctor as a general checkup. Besigye, a former personal doctor to President Yoweri Museveni, is one of his longest-standing political rivals, has been in detention since November 2024. Dr. Besigye told me he is finding it difficult to walk and is experiencing significant pain in his legs, she said, a respected human rights advocate and head of UNAIDS. She said he had an infection that was worsening without giving further detail. Kizza Besigye, man, the old man suffering in Yoweri Museveni's hands. Nigeria's police have now confirmed that a group of worshippers was kidnapped from 3 churches in a remote part of the northern Kaduna state after previously denying it. More than 2 days after the raid on the Kamun Wali village, police on Tuesday night said that an earlier statement denying the attack had been widely misrepresented. So they said, well, we say that was not true. But not true, yeah. They will just tell you the truth. We won't hide it for you. Okay, let's go to our Facebook page and say good morning to all of you who've joined us this morning on the OK Morning Rush. We like to say Razak Akanen. He says, I'm following this morning from Kerry Street. Mick Amico is joining us. Samuel S. Down, Flexible General. I remember this name, Ansu Komo. Very long time. How are you, Ansu? Joshua Toto is joining us. I don't know, from Totota. M. Beneto K. Manomba is joining us. Austin Zaulo Gauntlet 2, I'm sure it got to be. Rose M. Sambola has joined in. Ariton Tape and all of you joining us. We'd like to say good morning. Happy day to all of you. Let's take out these announcements and then we come right back. The Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation is pleased to announce the successful replacement of damaged sewer pipes on Benson Street in central Monrovia. Customers in the area with valid registration will now be reconnected as our technical, sales, and marketing teams visit the community in the coming days. Property owners on Benson Street and nearby areas who are not yet connected to the sewer network are encouraged to visit our Front Street office Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays 9 a.m. to 12 noon to complete their registration. LWSC remains committed to providing reliable services and appreciates the cooperation and support of all our customers. At the same time, this notice is to inform customers who have outstanding water and sewer bills of US 50 and above that the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation will commence a mass disconnection exercise in the coming days. Affected customers are strongly advised to settle their arrears promptly to avoid service disconnection and the inconvenience and embarrassment that may result. LWFC remains committed to providing reliable water and sewer services and counts on the cooperation of all customers to meet their payment obligations. Thank you for your understanding and continuing support. The management of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation signed this one. The Office of Admissions and Records of the Liberia Christian College is excited to announce the registration for regular students, new students, readmission students, and transfer students. Registration dates. Regular students registration January 20th to February 20th. Late registration is February 21 to the 28th. Classes start March 2. LCC offers a flat rate tuition of US $200 per semester. Visit our 5th Street or Dixville campus daily for your walk-in entrance. Entrance fee is only 10 United States dollars. The Liberia Christian College is accredited by the National Commission on Higher Education and is granted license to offer certificate, diploma, associate of arts, and bachelor degrees in the following areas: School of Business, Accounting and Finance, Procurement and Supply Chain, Human Resource Management, Project Management, Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Economics and Statistics, International Business and Marketing Management, Monitoring and Evaluation, Management of International Organizations, School of Science and Technology, Computer Networking, Data Science and Analytics, Management Information System Telecommunication, Faction and Garment Design, School of Education, Early Childhood Education, Primary Education, Secondary Education, Education Management and Supervision, and Guidance and Counseling, School of Christian Education, Church Administration and Management, Pastoral Theology, School of Liberal Arts, Criminal Justice, Public Administration, Communication Arts, School of Public Health and Environmental Science, Public Health and Environmental Science, School of Agriculture, General Agriculture, Agribusiness Management, and Agroeconomics. Office of the Admission and Records. Liberia Christian College is signing this announcement. And we'd like to say welcome back to the OK Morning Rush. Let's go to the... no, before we go there, let's do something. We are coming Um, who's writing? Who's writing? Who's writing this? Okay, let's go to the executive mansion. The president made three appointments last night. If you like, he shifted Ko Bangalo from Ministry of Youth and Sports, and but let's go there. Let's get this one done. The president has been commissioning some appointed officials of the government, some of whom have been working. President Boakai sends Councillor Bangalo to LRRC as he repositions the commission for greater strategic national role as Anthony Kua takes over MYS. Last evening, OKFM posted that we posted credible sources were telling us that the president would have done this in less than 8 minutes. A pop-up on the executive mansion website. I thought it was a good job by our team. It was a very good job by our team. President Joseph Boakai has taken a strategic decision to expand and reposition the Liberia Refugee Repatriation and Resettlement Commission to better respond to emerging national, regional, and global mitigation or migration dynamics in support of Liberia's territorial integrity and national security framework. The president's action reflects a forward-looking effort to align the mandate of the LRRC with the increasing complexity of cross-border movements, refugee management, returnee reintegration, and broader migration trends affecting the Mano River region and the West African sub-region. In furtherance of his expanded mandate, President Boakai has appointed Councillor Jericho Bangalo, former Minister of Youth and Sports, as Executive Director of the Liberia Refugee Repatriation and Resettlement Commission. His appointment is intended to strengthen operational leadership, enhance interagency coordination, and ensure the effective execution of the Commission's broadened responsibilities. The President notes that Liberia stands at a pivotal moment shaped by rising regional migration pressures and a growing challenge of managing porous borders in a changing global environment. These realities, the President emphasizes, require an institutional response that goes beyond traditional humanitarian coordination and contributes meaningfully to national preparedness, security planning, and migration management. Accordingly, the LRRC is being repositioned to play a more strategic role, including coordination on cross-border movements, engagement with relevant international and regional protocols, and contribution to Liberia's overall national security and migration management architecture. The President expresses appreciation to Councillor Bangalo for his dedicated service to the youth of Liberia and affirms full confidence that his legal acumen, administrative discipline, and public service experience will guide the LRRC effectively into this new phase of national responsibility. In another development, President Boakai has nominated attorney at law Colina W. Krua as Minister of Youth and Sports. Additionally, Honorable Jackson Pay has been appointed as a member of the Board of Directors of the Liberia Civil Aviation Authority. These nominations are subject to confirmation by the Liberian Senate where applicable. That is what the executive mansion is saying. Councillor Jericho Bangalo will now leave the Ministry of Youth and Sports and he goes to the LRRC to head that institution. And the acting head of the institution now, Jackson Pay, will go now to be a member of the Liberia Civil Aviation Authority. Congratulations to the young lawyer, a brilliant young Liberian female lawyer. The current until she can leave, until she gets confirmed, appointed, and commissioned the current Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, Kalina Kura. Congratulations to you. Oh, wow. That's just congratulations to you. Life got a way of, doing things. Now, she and her father are going to be seated in cabinet meetings. The father is the Minister of Labor, and then she's going to be at the Minister of Youth and Sports. What a proud father Kopakura is going to be. If you have never been proud, of course I know he's been proud of his daughter. As a father of two daughters, I will be a very proud father too. Sometimes let be human being small. And then father want to see that. The smile when you go in those kinds of cabinet meeting and you are like, wow, many years ago. Sometimes you start thinking about when she was crying, when she was walking, and some of the discipline you instill in her and all those kind of things. When I was reading the executive management statement, the way they designed the LRRC kind of thing, I was thinking, what are they would do some amendment of the act that established the LRRC. I was really concerned because the way they design it, they say they brought in the scope, the way they make it, they design, the way they design the release. I was asking myself, I say, so will we have an amendment? Because most of the things they say, they're working with international partners, I think that LRRC has been doing. But again, maybe they're more than what they were doing before. Then they were talking about security aspect, or then so I started asking myself some questions. I said, but when it comes to, nobody questions the president's wisdom to a point. But so now we can have discussions on some of these things. The Constitution of the country gives the president the exclusive right to appoint at his will and at his pleasure, and they give him the right to dismiss too. But I know that those rights come with a lot of antecedents, and the framers of the law, that there are some things they meant, actually. There are some things they meant. But again, that's how the shape of our governance system is. But if you're talking about the LRRC in terms of security or this, who is more qualified to remain? Between maybe Jackson Pay and Cole. Cole, is a lawyer. Maybe, I don't know whether he got any background, extensive background, security and blah, blah, blah. But Jackson Pay is a former colonel of the Armed Forces of Liberia. As far as security is concerned, I think he's got all the pedigree, everything. And he's also, I think Jackson Pay is also an engineer, So I was just thinking when I saw the release, when they were talking about, to strengthen the national security, I said, but Jackson Pay, that security man. So I think, but again, that is the president's wisdom. Nobody can question it. I was just looking at the LRRC statement, I was just laughing. Probably there will be a wider scope, don't get me wrong. Probably there will be a wider operation, but again, maybe, I don't know whether they will look at the maybe they will look at the amendment, because to stretch it up, you need to look at some of the provisions of stuff like that. Franklin Delacroix is reporting that a 62-year-old man has allegedly raped a 10-year-old child in Ganta Nimba County. Emmanuel Gonkwe, the head of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia, he took to his Facebook page and wrote this. He said, firstly, I will meet the president after sooner, meet members of the board, and thereafter we will release 10 contract documents and 103 checks. LSEZ, we are coming. I'm a lion. I don't know what the implication of this. I called Gonkwe the other day. I wanted to talk to him. He said he didn't want to talk to me. I don't know what he's talking about. When he meet the president, he will release 102 checks, and he's a lion. LCC must get ready and all the kind of things. Something happened to Red Light a few days, but it's not strange. Not strange because it has been happening even when people are dying. So I don't know, 1 or 2 stores or some business houses were gutted by fire in red light. And all some people had to do were in the midst of the flame, where I know the owners of those businesses were confused and wondering what was going on. All some people had to do was to go there and loot the place. And you see the photo of a female trending. The energy that woman get, and that's more energy. The Xbox that woman told in that's more thing. Jesus. So people stole burning. And you ain't happy then to put up the fire. But the only thing you get, you're taking the things from the store. Go on our highways. When accidents occurred, sometimes these big trucks taking goods from one place to another, when these trucks are involved in an accident, instead of people going to help the victims, people who sustain injuries, all they go for are the goods in the car. They will be checking in people's pocket. Yeah. Even when people on their die bed, people can be checking people's pocket because everybody they assume everybody's unconscious. So they check in people's pocket, they looting people's trucks, and all. Sometimes when the accident occurs in the night before daybreak, nothing in the truck. The people in the nearby villages, they finish taking everything. For them, it is an opportunity to get rich, to get established. They don't see the human part. They're not putting themselves in it to say, why if we were the people in this accident or our family people, the good versus these people's lives? What the situation to red light was very bad, terrible. And things are not like before. When people see these things on social media, sometimes they don't believe it. They don't think it's, maybe they just think it's some kind of drama or something. See the woman towing the Xbox. Big Xbox. I don't know what she carrying it, man. People shout burning. You go in there to do the kind of thing. We need to stop these things. Let's help each other. That is how people are supposed to be united. You don't have to know those people whose businesses or business center was burning or were burning. You didn't have to know them. All you could do is to just help them quench the fire. But they were there basically looting. Like I said, for them, it was an opportunity. So I know how that woman feel when she see herself on Facebook that I will have beef. Maybe she will say she will carry it home, so that when the fire gets cut off, she'll bring it back. She'll bring it back. So on Tuesday, I hosted Alex Tolbert, a dismissed employee of the Liberia Land Authority, and he made a lot of allegations. And so today, 8 o'clock, we expect the people from the Land Authority, the communication pressing, probably and one other pressing. I would have loved the head of the Land Authority because some of the things the guy said was about him as a president. But again, when they are coming to respond, we can't stop them. So 8 o'clock, we have some folks here from the Liberia Land Authority. They are coming to respond to some of the things Tolbert talked about the other day. And then it will take us up to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, the head of the Asset Recovery, Councillor Edwin Clark Martin, will be here. And we'll talk a lot. The last time I checked, he was in Great Britain. He was in the UK. Why was he there? Where are we now? Where is the asset recovery now? And all these things we'll talk about. NEMA Representative Tai Wongwe posted. He said, yesterday I voted yes on amendment number 3 to the ArcelorMittal Liberia Mineral Development Agreement. This video is the statement I delivered on the floor prior to my vote, outlining my reasoning and the considerations behind this decision. This amendment unlocks major investment, brings an upfront US $200 million into our national treasury, shifts us from exporting raw ore to producing iron ore concentrate, strengthens Liberian jobs and skills commitments and establishes a framework for shared raw infrastructure. No large agreement is perfect. That is why this decision followed detailed analysis, consultations with our people, and direct engagement with ArcelorMittal and the president. Then he posted a link. Okay. Now, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has cleared Christopher D. Sankolo, the suspended Director General of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority, of all allegations of corruption, ending months of investigation and public debate following his suspension by President Joseph Boakai. In a Clarence certificate issued January 15, 2026, on case reference number 00591, the Commission confirmed that Sankolo was investigated for alleged financial impropriety and acts of corruption involving LACRA officials. The Commission said the investigation found no evidence sufficient to establish criminal liability or warrant prosecution. According to the LACC, the probe included a comprehensive review of documents, financial records, and other relevant materials, as well as an assessment of information gathered during the investigation. Upon completion, the Commission determined there was no probable cause to pursue legal or criminal proceedings against Sankolo and officially closed the matter. The Commission noted that no charges were filed and emphasized that the clearance was issued strictly on the basis of its findings. It added that the decision should not be interpreted as an endorsement beyond the scope of the specific inquiry conducted. The LACC also stated that the clearance is binding and that all previous clearances related to the matter are revoked, underscoring the finality of its determination. The Commission said the investigation was conducted independently and professionally, in keeping with its statutory mandate to prevent and combat corruption while ensuring fairness and due process. Sankolo was suspended from his office on June 26 last year by President Boakai to allow the investigation to proceed without interference. I am sitting in my seat this morning and wondering whether the president will reinstate Mr. Christopher Sankolo as head of LACRA. I'm wondering because the president has done so before. There was an issue at the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs. Some people were suspended there. After the investigation, one or two of them was or were reinstated. I'm wondering, remember when the Christopher Sankolo thing started? I said something about it. I said, in my opinion, his suspension was the work of powerful people around the president. Because come to think about it. Again, then I said, but let's hold on. Because for me, we should not be quick to acquit people and we should not be quick to convict people. I said, let's wait to see the outcome of the LACC's investigation. But from all of the sources we spoke to, both at LACRA and everywhere, the thing that got him suspended was well planned, well calculated, well executed. All they wanted was, look, we'll do it in a way, we know the president. The president will suspend him. When he goes to sit down, it's okay. Why was I concerned? Because this is a guy who took over LACRA. I mean, the previous administration did some job there. They did some job there. Dr. John Flomo and the folks, Musa Khan, and they did what they could do. He inherited LACRA and took over. And in less than 1 year, 2 months, the guy managed to get the whole place bright. The guy managed to tighten the scoop at the free port of Monrovia to ensure that the way Liberia Cocoa were leaving the country. They were not leaving. The guy set up a task force, and a lot of things were going on. The employees over there started jubilating. The men bought buses for the employees, for people to start going to work. They were putting lapa down for the men to work on it. The president certificated and honored this guy, that he was one of the best performers in the government. And this is so because I think at the presidency, they have measurement. They have a way of determining who is a good president. And I think that whole process is headed by the director of cabinet. How do you call it, old man? Kwabo, Nathaniel Kwabo. So this guy was honored by the president, Christopher Sankolo. The men were honored. The men were certificated. Then, few days, boom, the man got suspended on allegation of corruption. But again, I said, no, that the president honored the man, it means that maybe the man not corrupt. So let hold on. Then my sources started informing me that, look, that guy did nothing wrong. People who were powerful around the president, they just thought the guy maybe he's stepping on some toes, so they needed to do something to get him up. I can still remember Christopher Sankolo said on a very radio, he said, Clarence, next year, 2026, I will relieve the government of the headache. I will make sure at LACRA, we are able to raise sufficient money to pay ourselves so the Ministry of Finance will not pay us again. Beyond that, I will make sure LACRA for next year, LACRA will contribute $1 million to the budget. We'll start from there. Besides paying the employee, the guy said, look, what I have seen here, we get so much capacity here, we can pay ourselves. And next year, LACRA will contribute $1 million to the budget. And every budget year now will increase that money. On one to low, boom. The guy got suspended on corruption allegation. Oh, the man, the bosses, the man bought, the man did it one. The country. I'm getting to the stage now where, again, sometimes people young, you have the energy, the exuberance and everything. But as you grow older, a lot of things will begin to change. And that's how life is supposed to be. Because the older you grow, the more experienced society think that you're supposed to be. Some people in the country, some of the things against people in some places in the country, some people are just victims of lies, gossip, misrepresentation, misinformation. Because at some point, some people ain't able to sit with the president and have a conversation. So sometimes the people who think they're privileged with proximity to the president, sometimes they just misinform. Tell the president what they want him to hear, him or her to hear. Not with President Boakai alone, with President Weah, President Salif, all of our presidents. Sometimes people are just victims of certain things. Of course, sometimes people really do what they said they did. So I'm thinking whether President Boakai, as head of the country, will say, you know what? This guy was honored. I certificated this guy because he performed very well as far as the government scorecard is concerned. And then I suspended him because they said they were wrongdoing. Now that the Anti-Corruption Commission has freed this guy, the guy needs to go back to LACRA. Or maybe say when the man go back to LACRA, the way the system, because I remember Christopher Sankolo and one of the deputies at LACRA who name I don't really know, but I know Christopher himself came here and called the guy's name. He said this guy was one of the presidents behind him, and this guy had a lot of influence with some people. So maybe the president will say, we can send a man by LACRA, because when we send a man by LACRA, there could be a lot of talking there, so we'll find somewhere else. But I think he should come back in the government. I think he mean well. From the LCC investigation are clear, because we need good people in the country now. And all of us say we need good people in the country. So when we get few good people in the country, let's protect them. I'm talking the way I'm talking because LCC clear. They say he did nothing wrong. They check all over, they review all the paper there. The man know, they say no, the man. And for me, this thing is not about Christopher Sankolo. It's about his children. That is the reason why I have always said when people get suspended, it's good for them to get investigated and convicted or acquitted so that tomorrow it will not have an effect on their children and their grandchildren. When you want to talk to someone, somebody say, shut up, man, your power working over there is suspended for corruption. Then you say, my power not correct. They say, but how did the investigation go? At least let there be evidence that, yes, he was suspended for corruption, but he was investigated and he was convicted. So he becomes a corrupt person or he was acquitted. And here are the records. Will Christopher Sankolo go back? Maybe not to Lacra. But Mr. President, we want the brightest of our minds in the government and very honest people. So the way he like that now, where you put him back? And I think he should go back to a post. Because apparently the guy saw a lot of things at Lacra. Imagine the man was talking about Nana Lacra is not contributing to the national budget. The government is paying Lacra through the Ministry of Finance. The guy was saying, but this year, I will be making available $1 million to the budget. And Ministry of Finance will not pay all again, we'll pay ourselves. The guy said, I have seen all the loopholes. I'm trying to close all the holes. I'm closing some of the holes. But he said people are not happy. People in and out of the system are not happy. But we are trying our best. Okay. So that's it. Let's take your calls until we can get our friends coming from the Liberia Land Authority. Then we can start a conversation. Now, this is our WhatsApp number. Our WhatsApp number is 0555 026 995. Only for WhatsApp call. 0555 026 995. Then the orange number is 0777 700 995. And the Lone Star number is 0555 995 995. Right here on the OK Morning Rush on a Thursday, 22nd January, from the nation's capital, Monrovia. No, not until we go. No, let's leave the line a little bit. I beg your pardon. I forgot. Let's go to Nima County and talk to Franklin Dolokui to provide us detail about the 62-year-old man who has allegedly raped a 10-year-old child. Franklin, good morning.
Thank you very much, Clarence. Good morning.
Good morning, Franklin. Where did this thing happen? How did it happen? Where is the accused man now?
Well, the incident occurred in a community called Bregistan. It's in Kanta, where this 62 years old man, the suspect, his name is Henry Mela. He's a resident of Bregistan community. So what he did was, he gave rest to this 10 years old survivor or the victim to prepare the food and bring it for him. So when the 10 years old, when the child prepared the food and took the food in his room, there where he closed the door and he allegedly abused her. So community daughter told OKFN when I visited the place that they both parties, they both get in the room naked. So it was based on that the community people took the complaint to the police station. It happened on Sunday, January 18th. That's about 9 a.m.
Who is the child to him? Because to tell the child to cook for you, there must be some kind of relationship.
Yeah, they live in the same they live in the same community in the same yard. So they are just across the road, while the victim too live across the other side of the road.
Has he admitted?
Yeah, he has told police preliminary investigation that yes, he carried on the act because he was booking the process. He was booking the process by community member. So it was community member. After the little child passed and went for over 20 minutes and they couldn't see how to come out. The only community they have the concern that what Henry is doing with this little child. About 20 minutes, close to 20 minutes ago, she had to come out. She was based on that. They rushed to Henry's room and they forced the door that had a both for them.
Why did he say he did that?
There have been no concrete reason yet. There have been no concrete reason. Imagine Clarence, 62 years old, man, there have been no concrete reason yet, but this is not the first of a kind. In Nima, we reported a case from the sea around Quaipia Secretary, where another man to raped 8 years old child and he's currently in Senegal, and again we're talking about 62 years old man carrying on this act.
So he's currently in police custody.
You were charged yesterday, he was sent to the Gompa Marshall Court. So as you speak, you will be sent to Senegal today to Senegal Central Prison, where you will be there, you will be awaiting court trial.
Thank you so much, Franklin Dolokwe. That is 62-year-old said, huh? I be there. That is 62-year-old said they were looking at. That 10-year, yeah. With his 62-year-old said, that 10-year-old child. And most of the time, when these people admit to the commission of rape in that manner, what hurts me a lot, I mean, the rape is already bad, it hurts, but what hurts me a lot is the fact that they will not tell you why they did that. When they go to court, they just bust out cry. They will just be crying. They will not, they will not explain anything to say, I don't know, that portion of what they do is like a secret. They don't say it. They will not say, this is the reason why we did this. I did this. They will just say, oh, they start lying. They all are already bad person, so they will just start crying. They will not explain anything. They will just start crying. But I'm wondering on something, and I want to talk about it. It's about development, and and this concerns the Nima County. I just forgot yesterday when Superintendent Miape Kogono was here. They're doing a lot of great job. I saw the videos of the Nima Lodge that they built here in Carisburg. Very good building. The superintendent and the Nima Legislative Caucus and the Mayor Ganta, all of you, I just want to post something to you, and so you can think about it. Can we, at this stage, now think about building a prison in Ganta? Because my experience is that almost all of the crimes committed across Nimba, once the police gets through with preliminary investigation, they got to take the person to Sanikole. I think we need a second prison in Nimba, and that should be in Ganta. So when they bring you from Tapetan, Seklepi, all those things, they can just stop you right in Ganta. So when they bring you from Beleguer, so get all the other places in Yaman, they bring you from Camp Plateau places, they can stop you. I think you need to start to have some discussion. You need to start to have some discussion about constructing a Ganta Central prison. So all the weight, it's not on Sanikole alone. That's a good thing you need to think about. The scene we are always talk about, the Memorial Central Prison that has outlived, I think we need to have a conversation of constructing a bigger prison facility for Liberia. Either on the bombing highway, which would be way very much preferable, or maybe somewhere around Bentol, somewhere beyond the University of Liberia, Fennel campus, somewhere there. Let's think about building a new prison facility in the country. 0777700995555995. The WhatsApp number is 0555026995. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. That is Clarence Jackson.
Good morning.
Let me say good morning to the listening audience. My name is Robert, popular new as political Latin. People let me appreciate you this morning for your previous analysis, critical national. Attention have been tuned to the reappointment of Paulina Kra. Let me say this. The president's constitutional right is to appoint in the Senate. We cannot take it from him. For the issue of transparency, accountability, and openness in governance that I was talking about, you may be aware, and talking on a radio post last year when Paulina Kra, the DNC had an audit report allowed to implore people that were not visible. DNC said Paulina Kra implore people that were not visible, and on that, a clinical employment, a minister of state, the president's daughter, one of his daughter, Vanilla Baka, was there, and she was taking two salaries. Most of that, If you take people from position and put them in another position, there will be an order conducted on a piece of performance. So no, so what are going?
Except that nobody can question the president's authority to a point. That right, that privilege is guaranteed by the Constitution. So that one, the president can. My man, like I said, right and privileges sometimes they're antecedents based on reasoning, but that one is the prerogative of the president. So you can't question that one.
Definitely, people of Piso. As I said, it is the president's constitutional way. I'm not questioning it. I'm saying transparency, accountability, openness.
Okay, thank you. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, are you there? Good morning, yeah. Good morning. I mean, your line is terrible. You won't call it on and call back? Yeah, I think you're better now.
Yeah, Clarence. Thank you so much this morning for the topic on the question pertaining to rape business. For me, Clarence, I'm watching on Bob. I call from around the Panama. For me, Clarence, I'm very sure that it's normal because to look at system that age there and to look at 10 years old child for you to have that rape. For me, I'm not looking at it to be a normal thing actually.
But so like I said, how will we even know what I normal and not normal? Normally, the men will not talk. That man will just be crying. They carry men of cold, the men just crying. Hello. Good morning.
Morning, Clarence.
Good morning. You sleeping, Uncle?
No, I'm not sleeping. I woke up.
Security man sleeping, but okay, go ahead. Call your new.
Yeah. My name is Charles Roberts, and I'm in my profile.
Okay, sir.
So, I don't know what all you talked about this morning, but something on my mind.
You are sleeping.
No, I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping.
Uncle, I'll catch you, but go ahead.
I let say congratulations to the woman I call my mother. You know, my mother died 20 years ago. Then luckily for me, I had another one who bore me when I was already old. And so congratulations to Cornelia. Yeah, she's a hardworking woman, and the president confidence is backed by her dedication and her commitment to duty. The president know that. That's why give her the tax to head the young people ministry. I also let say congratulations to Councillor Kubangalo, who has been shaped to a new role.
Okay.
Like I said, you talk about considering being a prison company in Ghana. So
Uncle, hold on, one clear.
No, yeah, you got to make another suggestion so that it will match your request.
Go ahead.
So the circuit court is in Sanikori. So whatever the case, they got to go to the circuit court. The circuit court will have to sentence you before they send you to the prison. So the idea of having a prison in Sanikore is not wrong. Even though Ghana is more populated, is a boarding point in Nimba, that means you got to bring the circuit court to Ghana.
Charles, I'm not even saying you're wrong either, because in fact all the prisons, most of the prisons, in fact all the prisons are in the capital cities. It's not wrong. I'm just like you said, I'm just looking at the population.
I agree. So I think from that point, but Chief, Nimba is developed now from Ghana to Sanibel at 30 minutes. So I think that's long distance. When you are guilty like Sanibel, the only thing we can be talking about.
No, you know, maybe Lofa, Lofa, you sleeping. Yeah. What I'm trying to say, take for example, somebody commits a crime in Zan. Where in Zan, or maybe in Yahweh Mesno, they will have to come and pass by Ganta and kill the person Sanikuli. At that point, the prison, everybody from all what Nima, and maybe in other big countries too. Maybe we need to start to have those kinds of discussions.
Now, Clarence, I'm definitely different to talk, but let's expand. I want to join you in your advocacy. Can we expand or make the one in Sanikuli more bigger because of the population of Nima?
That's another brilliant argument.
Thank you. That's why I
Suggestion.
think I think that suggestion will be fun because based on the population of Nima and the
Yeah,
growing
maybe we can say
population
we
that
expand it. Yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
also
that
right.
expand the one inside the good. Now my point I wanted to speak to which is development again.
Oh, you finish it?
Clarence.
Make it you
No,
finish
we're
now.
not finished yet,
Yeah,
Clarence.
make
My
it you finish
point.
quickly. Yeah.
Clarence, I can't finish. I wasn't finished. I uncle now. I guess on leverage here. So Clarence, you have driven from here to Port Waterside. I'm sure, Clarence, you are also driven.
I have gone straight to Freetown, and I know what you want to talk about, Charles. But go ahead.
Okay. In that country, certain people get job and they don't want to do it. And that's my own point that I want to speak to. The road from Port Waterside to Clay, from Clay to Memorial Valley Road already spoiled. I want to talk about it. I want that road again. You know, in fact, better you tow your car, you put it on your head, you drive, you reach your Clay, then you put it down before you start driving to
From
go to Port
Waterside
Waterside.
to Clay, my man, at some point you can't even see the road. You can't see the
The
curve,
road
nothing.
has turned to a full path. When we need to make trap in the interior, like cannot play, we need to set trap for red deer. That's how the road has turned, and they get 50 truck on that road. Nobody pushes the road side. I think the in Sierra Leone, the road of Freetown, all the
I beg you, man.
you can and the same way that road get curved, how our roads get curved. So as a result, that what people do, you can be in one curve, you see the other you see the other curve. They put road, wow, they open up the pressure road. I'm telling them doing that.
Charles, you have
But
raised a
you know,
very good issue. I need to reach out to two institutions, Ministry of Public Works and the Road Fund. Myself, it bothers me. The shameful thing is that when you get to the Sierra Leone side up to Freetown, the road is big and well bred.
wow, they put pressure road. I don't want to pressure the road. We when we having contact, we having protest. We just protesting all day. We couldn't really law yet.
Oh, that kid, my people, you put in your mom.
No, I'm talking to them. I'm talking to the
Baba. The people from Grand Cape are coming for you, child. I said I will reach out. Then you start interacting with people like that. No, but honestly, the road from Clay to Bowaters the road is becoming a faux pas, like you said. The road is close in the bush. Hello? Good morning. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, Chief?
Amen. Don't come out of you. Say you doing sabbatical, you want out of there, you so relaxed. Talk, call your name, let's talk, man.
My man, I said, how you doing?
I'm good.
Great. What is the issue of someone sending you greetings?
Now in good faith. I understand when greetings are in good faith, but
So you read the minds of people now to know whether it's in good faith or bad faith?
Eric Baye, please go ahead.
Okay, dear Eric Baye here.
Yeah.
Now, Clarence, I want to speak to the incident that occurred in red light. I think it was a very troubling situation. It reminds me of the time of the war where people are just looting. And it takes us back to it takes the memories back. When your neighbor's house is burning, what do? Do you go to loot, or do you go to give helping hands? And then you realize that it is becoming entrenched, Clarence. You see a situation occurring, people going live and not coming to rescue. I think our mentalities have to change. It definitely got to change because, Clarence, my brother came from the States. He was traveling on the Ralphie Highway dead. This Texas had an accident. When he came home, he explained to me, instead of the people going to help the people rescue them from the car,
I beg you.
they were taking their
The booze the people can go for.
They took from Morufia. How can you be so deadly? How can you be so bad? How can you be so wicked? So it tells you how our nation is. We have to change our mentality.
Exactly.
And that's why I like the fact that, okay, FM, you don't just discuss politics all of the time. Sometimes you discuss things that are meant to change our society, that are meant to change the mentality of our people.
Yeah.
And we have to change that. When I saw the later training, again, it boils down to another thing. We will not want to talk about it. It's poverty. Poverty is to the core.
But some people are more poor than that woman is, but they will not do that. Is that poverty
Exactly,
issue or
exactly.
upbringing?
I agree with you because if your upbringing is right, you when you see your neighbor house on fire, you will go to help. You're not going to help destroy them finally. It's like, okay, yeah, there's a perfect opportunity for. And look at those who are those are the young people. Some of them were babies, little children taking the rug and all these kind of things. What will happen tomorrow? We have to change our mentality. I think there are times a segment of your show, you always do it, but that time, just take a day and let educate our people how to be our brother's keeper instead of
Thank
tearing
you,
down
Eric.
one another.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Hello.
Yes, hello.
We're expecting our friends from the land authority. When they come, we'll take them. Yeah.
Yes, my name is Joseph. I'm calling you from Lofa community. I have a quick thought or concern. One have to deal with the issue of the youth training that this particular president started when he just took over Nune. Up to now, I still don't see the significance.
Okay, I'm getting information that there's a proposed central prison at Chismaburg that is already being constructed. St. Ellington, but we'll be constructing one prison in Chismaburg. St. Ellington again finish. They go just pass. Yeah, let hear you.
Yeah, so that particular training there for me, I criticize that training in the United Parties of both. I believe that training people that don't even have computer or intellectual skills is unnecessary. And I think the best way to do
that youth computer training program?
Yes. I think the best way to do that was to integrate that particular training as a continuing process within high schools. And then secondly, the issue of sporting in this country here, the government needs to step up. Yeah, it's Clarence Jackson, right? For me, when I was in high school, before getting visually impaired, when I was in high school, I used to do quiz thinking. And one thing I noticed is that once you as a young person, you have yourself engaged into something, for example, quizzing and football and other things like that, you are less likely to put your hand into drugs. You are less likely to be raping, passing around here. You are less likely to be roaming around doing nothing. So I think the government need to put a strong regulation in sporting and other things that the young people can keep themselves busy. For example, some of my friends some of my brothers that were quiz together, they went to represent Liberia. In Europe, I remember the went to Germany, they represent Liberia, or they went to Spain, they represent Liberia. These things can help people to avoid their drug activities, this raping, other criminal or stuff that going on. That's not.
Okay, that's my concern. Thank you so much. The guy from Land Authority, they ain't here. When they come, we'll talk. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Jackson.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the unique program. I'm calling you from District 17 this morning, Brooklyn, to be this morning. My name is Aki Gray. I'm from Brooklyn.
You mean Gray?
Okay. I'm making particular reference to the burning of that legal store that you're talking about. Let's look at this thing. We like actually we don't get good man for one another. Let's look at the issue of Batala. That the legal highway, for each time when accident take place on that highway, or even say on Kitmore Road, the same attitude our brother and sister will always carry on. You see that being Batala. Yeah, when I think of how that problem, you could see people in that place drawing few oil.
Batala or I think it was Totota.
Oh, Totota, I mean, brother, thank you for your correction. People in that place there drawing few oil to go make personal business. In fact, people who not live in that place, they left their personal business, they want to go back and decide to go take part in that, the neighbor is there. And this is what we found ourselves today. You see, so we have to talk to our brother and sister to put the kind of our attitude, yeah, to be on the right path. Because
Thank you. Somebody is also telling me that while it's in Chismer Bread now, and I'm pressing with the administration bidding, so I don't even know what to trust now. Anyway, yeah. And the person who gave me the information is associated with the prisons in the country. So I don't know who to trust. 07777000995 555995995. The WhatsApp number is 0555026995 for Liberians residing outside Monrovia. Our friends from Land Authority, they are yet to come. Hello?
Morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Musa Kony.
Oh, they just go Facebook, you cooking your groundhog, then eating it between all about things.
When the issue I get with you want to talk on radio?
Go ahead. You talk. I'm begging. I say you respect people. Musa, let's hear you.
Okay.
Let's hear you, man.
Okay. So I listened to Charles Robert and he struck a very serious point, except that maybe you don't know where to go, and I just call for that purpose. Okay. And I'll give a little background, Clarence. When we were growing up in Kidman, Kulakoni district, we saw local authority taking responsibility of brushing. I'm saying it because my father was a travel chief. To some extent, they will even divide the role. For example, our parents were not, my father's side was not known to be Kidmantinian, though, even though they resided there. Mm-hmm. But they would say from this junction to this junction, it's for so group of people. And from this point to this point, it's for this other time. And you see, those demarcations are still there today, Clarence. They will go for a meeting, they have something they call out the general overseer or chief inspector, or something like that, county inspector. Then they will come from town to town, from village to make sure.
And during that time, when they count your own town row in prayer, you in trouble.
That problem.
So no time to one not gonna trouble, sir.
They will even start from cleaning your own town. If your town is not clean, a problem. Your town is not rubbed, the beautiful chalk, they will rub it. So everything was in order. And I've been advocating like that for maybe 7-8 years. Every time that I went back home and said, look, gentlemen, we saw these things happening. What is it that we can do? What have changed? The same people stay here because it changed from one generation to another generation, but our generation is a lazy generation. And with no disrespect, Clary, maybe the Kimatinian, we are forgetting a lot of things that we saw our people doing that we're not doing. Everything will tell you because after the war, the NGO started paying people to brush. We'll not get NGO again. We go to a post with the brush, what you get for us. So the towns, everywhere just bushy. That is the child talking about. Everywhere bushy.
You're
the
right.
Commissioner or the superintendent have to put on some more money for people to start brushing. That is not how we saw it. I think we have to go back to old days.
Thank you, Musa Kanen. Musa Konen, rather. I always miss your name for Kanen. You are K-O, not K-A. Okay, our friends from the Land Authority are here. We'll go across the table for introduction, then we can start. Like I said, the other day we had, I didn't forget the guy. Paul Alex Tauber was on the radio, and he says he was dismayed without reasoning illegally, and he displayed or demonstrated a deed, and there were a lot of technical things about that deed he talked about. And so Rudolph Faya, who called and said he was a consultant at the Land Authority, and then I said the time was small. I will provide you guys the opportunity to come to. So they are here. Guys, good morning. Let's start with you. Just introduce yourself.
Thank you. Good morning. Clarence, I'm Rudolph Faya, a communication consultant at the Land Authority.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to the peace and loving people like you. I'm Kushi Tete. I'm the head of communication at the Land Authority.
Okay, Mr. Tete, how is everything, guys? Tete, how's the Land Authority? How's your boss? Ask back here.
The Land Authority is good. We are robustly into a reform. So you know that we've introduced a new D form and a new land information system that's going to improve the land registry in the Republic of Liberia. So we are right now doing awareness on the new D forms. And we also, introduced 3 entering guidelines that will help to improve land transactions in the Republic of Liberia and guide the Liberians how we can proceed in doing all our land transactions in Liberia. So we good. Chairman Paki is doing pretty good well. He's working with a team of commissioners. They are handling the Land Authority. We're seeing some like that at the Land Authority. In my own word, if I like to say, there are a lot going on. And thanks, I like to say thanks to our serious partner that they right now, you know how we're running the SL program, even though it'll soon be closing. So that is why you see that honor the leadership of Chairman Paki, he working hard so that we can start to generate revenue and to take care of our own liability. We can't depend on the donor forever, and the donors will go.
That's good.
So we're working around.
By the way, in fact, I even saw the head of the Land Authority in Bong. She was going from one marketplace to another with a megaphone, educating people about the new registration and how to buy land, blah, blah, blah. Now,
exactly.
But
which is very
just give us
important.
a little picture of the Land Authority. What do you do? What's your function for the benefit of people listening?
So just to summarize, the land functions were all institutions across the country. So before the establishment of the land authority, at the time the land commission, so those functions were taken for all the institutions and they were given to the Liberal Land Authority, establishing the Liberal Land Authority to take care of land functions throughout the country.
Okay.
So we're responsible for land registry, survey, mapping, cadastral, anything you think about land in
That's
the
good.
Republic of Liberia, just to sum it. So, and we've been doing that over the year, but I tell you, with the new administration under the auspices of Chairman Samuel F. Bakir, it has improved. We are vigorously now moving. As you see, the awareness, counties, land administrators are taking the responsibility now to go into the field to spread the message. So the communication team at the head office can do all. So we go there, we train, people in the counties, and they are prepared to move in the field and educate the people.
That's good.
That's why we are supporting rigorously the decentralization process. And my boss were at the Minister of Internal Affairs, the field, and he said we've already gone ahead with the decentralization process.
In fact, it is now the Ministry of Local Government.
Local government.
Fire, how are you? How is the consultancy at the Land Authority?
Perfect. I've gone there and then joined my colleague Tete and another person who soon come, Emmanuel Davis. At least we are three, and with other colleagues in the department, we are doing very well. And as he said earlier, the Land Authority is under a serious and rigorous transformation. And this is why we are here today to tell you, in these transformations, you will hear a lot of things going on. And because when you want to put a system into place, you must expect people will not be happy. Because things that are being wrongly done, they are no more there. Because what? The president called Samuel Ekpaki, who's the chairman, has come in to transform a system and make it what? To be a better place. I will tell you today, Clarence, the focus, the nucleus of the Land Authority is ADR, the Authority Dispute Resolution Area, where people have their problems with land issues and come in to resolve it. Where they go to court, they call for investigative survey, they come to Land Authority, asking them for their expertise to go there and do what they could do. In these cases, they put need resource. Where there are no resource, Clarence, you yourself know. Take, for example, you are involved, you take your land issue at that place. What is needed, you do all, and you don't get a result. How will you feel? And this is where the system is being put into place. When Samuel Pacquiao took over, it was difficult. Internal revenue, we couldn't see anything there. But today, it's very appreciative. It's very appreciative. And these are things that we are putting into place, and you see that things are going on well. And I can tell you plainly, if you go to Land Authority today, like you said about our partners, they are happily working now, doing a lot of things, even though their time will soon expire. But other partners are coming also to see how we can help the land system in this country. And if you look at the transformation system that is ongoing, everything that is there is systematic. So the land sector, I can let you know. Sometimes I can tell other people, if you have your land problem, go to Land Authority. Don't go to court.
Okay.
Go with expertise.
Thank you. Kwesi, let's begin with you now. With the rear. Those were just introductions. Now, a former employee of the Land Authority, Paul Alex Torber, was on the show the other day, and you called and Fire also called, and I thought it was good to give you this opportunity.
Thank you for giving us
problem.
the opportunity.
I mean, that was the right thing to do. He's complaining that he was illegally dismissed without due process and blah blah blah. What do you know about his dismissal?
So first of all, I like to say that it is absolutely not truth. Paul Tomer will give him due process.
And before you go there, let me just read this because this is one of the things he talked about.
Yeah.
He said when the commissioner took over, when Pacquiao took over less than 1 week, Pacquiao called for him to be transferred, and I told him that day that, head of entity reserve the right to do
Exactly,
shift.
sir.
To Vanin Sharif, Director of Administration, Liberia Land Authority, from Samuel F. Bakio, Chairman, February 26, 2025. Subject: transfer of personnel for reassignment. The below listed staff of the LLA are to report to your office for reassignment effective February 26, 2025. You are therefore requested to prepare the necessary documents or letters in collaboration with the Executive Director, Honorable Stanley Ento, to effectuate their transfer. The effective staff are Mr. James A.S. Perkins, Paul A. Tolber, Edward B. Golegaju, and M. Augustus Zobombo.
Zobomo.
Okay.
Zobomo.
Furthermore, you are requested to provide me audits, documentation showing that your office is not really clear, has completed the transfer in the shortest possible time. Regards, all of the commissioners or CC copy. Yeah, go ahead, Kwesi.
So before Chairman Parker took over, that was some of his plan. He has been in the land authority for a long time as a director for land use and planning. So he saw some of the divisions that had problems. So his plan was in a quest of the restructuring and invigorating the Liberia Land Authority, the dispute unit, I will have to reshuffle the dispute unit because, and we'll open the line. People will call, and you see everybody complain about the dispute unit. The cases are coming. Investigative surveys going on. 2 years results are not being given to them. The reports are not being prepared. He thought that it was too many problems around that unit, so that restructured the unit. So it was not a wish on. When he got there, he was not dismissing anybody. So when he got there, he said, look, let's restructure it. But let me tell you, after the communication, so the commissioner for the department came in and said, okay, but give me some time. Let me intervene and see how we can do the restructuring. So that communication did not take effect.
Thomas said that. Yeah.
As expect, the intention, So it gave us some time. But during the period, other things pop up, So Emmanuel will soon join us. We got doses of documents and we're going to be giving to you.
Yeah, go ahead. We're talking about how was he dismissed? Why was he dismissed?
So he was caught up in a lot of financial malpractices. For example, there was a system at the Liberia Land Authority. If you are providing services and you are in charge of that service, and fees are being charged, it's not being paid to you. It has to go through the finance department that responsible to collect all fee, and then it is right the place to where it's supposed to be. So if you go and start issuing receipts on behalf of the institution, and I tell you, that's not $100 we're talking about. We're talking about 35, 40,000 US dollars. And negotiating, signing on behalf of the institution in the absence of the rightful authority. So the issue came on, and he was given due process. Asking, he wrote testimony, and admitted to some of these things. And that was a management decision that you have to go. So he was dismissed.
Okay.
And when you're dismissed, they took out the case. They went to CSA. The CSA have come in to investigate.
Okay. So let me read his dismissal letter.
Yeah.
LNA, LR, blah, 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 October 30, 2025. Mr. Paul A. Tolbert, Liberia Land Authority, Asma and Gertie Streets, Moreville. Mr. Paul Alex Tolbert, you are hereby dismissed as the Assistant Director for the Alternative Dispute Resolution Division effective October 30, 2025. Your dismissal is consistent with Chapter 4H of the Standing Orders for the Civil Service Agency 2012 and for releasing an ADR report document without the knowledge of the head of entity involving two sand mining companies in the New Georgia Township one of which is operating with an expired squatter right permit. The Liberian Land Authority shall inform the civil service within blah blah blah. So the reason why he was dismissed is clear. So, but you are saying you were dismissed for financial impropriety, for this, for that. But the release is clear. He did something. He submitted a report, released some kind of ADR report without the knowledge of the head. That's why he was dismissed.
Okay, let me just come in at Clarence.
But I wanted to add up.
Go ahead.
Before you come
Go
in. So,
ahead.
Clarence, that was an item. That was an item. So, while the investigation was going on, all these things just dumped in it.
Which
So,
investigation now?
while the investigation was going on, with when you released the report with all the proper authority, approval, a reviewer, a approval, then the other thing dumped in. Yeah, but he was dismissed for that.
So the other thing dumped in, how come it's not clear in the main letter?
So
the
if
letter
it
is
is-
clear.
so if-
you
yeah.
were dismissed for releasing document without my approval, period.
Clarence.
And that is in violation of 4.8 of the Civil Service Standing Rule.
Clarence. Portable did a lot of harm to the land authority. It's one of those reasons. There are a lot of reasons. As we speak now, Labrador Land Authority is in court for portable decision.
$1.5 million
1.5 million
lawsuit.
lawsuit against Labrador Land Authority now. We are in court now as we speak. For a decision that nearly killed 100 people in Pinsville recently. The riot happened in Pinsville.
But Chief,
No, I'm coming 1 minute.
Chief, wait, no,
So,
Chief,
if we
wait,
place-
Chief,
if we-
sir, wait 1 minute. This
Yeah.
is not, we are not in court.
No, I'm coming 1 minute.
No, I coming. But even at the court cannot hear what did not go before it.
Yes.
You people have said that man was dismissed for financial
I come in 1
impropriety.
minute.
He ate money.
Listen now.
I come in. He was issuing receipt to people and blah blah blah. But your dismissal letter say the man was dismissed simply
This
because
is where I want to
he
come in.
released a report without the knowledge of the chairman.
Clarence, if you are under investigation for a purpose and you are look at in that particular area, other things come in. That is what destroying the institution.
Well, here call it due process.
100%.
Fully.
Where is the statement he made? He wrote.
If our colleague is coming, he will soon bring a statement. He has it with him. You want to come in? He will calculate
Correct.
due process. I come in 1 minute. Let me tell you, Clarence. When that thing took place, it happened during the past regime with Modiba. There was this case, which is very terrible, at the Louisiana car we're in with Blama right.
The former Blama right.
The Blama right. So they all came in and they asked them to what? Pay for what? Investigative survey that went over 32,000 US dollars per the audit that was done by the internal auditors. So when this money was paid to the people to do their work, the work was never done. All receipts were given by them, not the finance office.
Portable then.
Portable issue all the receipts.
Portable high for a institution.
Receive the money, issue
Yes.
receipt on behalf of the entity.
In that case, they never did anything. Recently, the case came back under Chairman Pacquiao. And who called the president himself called Chairman Pacquiao and said, I want you to look into the case of this Blama right and the people of Louisiana because there are a lot of things going on. Chairman Pacquiao constituted a committee to go and do reconnaissance and other things to follow the case. There where this thing came up because it needed investigative survey. The team went there and said, okay, we have to have investigative survey. The people said, but we are already paid for the investigative survey. Then the team asked them, but how can you prove that? That's how they brought all their receipts. All their receipts that paid their money, and the receipt that were issued, enough for the final office. The first thing, they forged the receipts by using land authority and airline to give them that receipt. In that case, they call Portable. Clarence, I'm sitting before you. The initial investigation was part of it. When Portable appeared before the chairman and others, and admitted that the court instructed to do the investigation survey, and they took the money to do the work, And he even told us that they didn't work, but the result couldn't come because they went to work, the men that didn't work, they dismissed him at the time. So they kept the report. Yes.
Okay, so let's move on. And you say somebody coming with, because I want to see that you say the man wrote, the man will call it due process. Do you know one George McGill, Mr. Kwesi Tete? Does he work at the land authority? Has he been hired for any consultant role, task force, whatever? Do you know George McGill?
Yes, I know George McGill.
In what capacity is he working, or has he worked, or has he offered any service at the land authority, sir?
So George McGill work in the Department of Land Use and Management.
Okay, land use and management.
Yeah, he work in that department to be
In the
specific in the
zoning
zoning section.
Is he still there working?
Yes.
Yeah, he's there working.
Do you have a list of people you publish are people who are quote unquote, I don't like to call people some kind of name, but I will read what you wrote. Do you know whether he's been implicated in any illegal land sale before?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But let me tell you, Clarence. So that criminal land seller list that he mentions, okay, so there is a George McGill there on that list. But it's not the George McGill that works with the Liberal Land Authority. George McGill is not any administrator for any property in Liberia.
But the man worked there with you. The man know the particular George McGill. The man said, this is the guy who has been barred for selling land to people that is seen man you're brought by
so Clarence, don't be carried away. People will come and create lies to implicate people because they know that they want to fight back. You know, when people in the wrong, sometimes they try to.
So that different George McGill.
That different George McGill. So I'm very sure right now, maybe the next.
Do you know whether there's any George McGill who's being implicated in land business, land sale illegally, and his name
according to a list, the list I'm telling you about. That list was being generated from Port Talbot Division because they were investigating the different estates, that have land conflict and every time dispute. So people the administrators that were involved with double sales of land, so they started, enlisting them. And, to bring it forward to management for some decision. And I know that list was one upon a time published. How
you say their list, quick. You've been working over the day list was published in 2022. 2022, were you not at the land authority?
But I'm saying to you that yes, the list was published.
No,
before.
But you say you trying to exempt yourself, making
I am not.
Port Talbot was not Port Talbot alone. He was working for the land authority.
Granted.
Whatever list whatever list he published under his authority as assistant director there was a go-ahead from the institution.
Clarence, to answer your question, the George McGill that is in the land authority is not the George McGill that is on the list.
See, let me read what I have.
Yeah.
August 12, 2022. And I will read it the way it is. Bold. Names of some notorious land sellers in Montserrat and Magibie counties, whom the public is advised to exercise precaution and due diligence in dealing with on land matters. Montserrat County, Richard Morris, blah, blah, blah. The names are plenty. And the guard name is on number 62, George McGill. But Kwesi Tete has said this is not a George McGill. Now, do you know about, can you please interpret a D for me? Say you guys are knowledgeable about D and other issues. That's one thing the guy raised here. That there are a lot of, and I will ask questions about the D, but he said there are a lot of things. Kwesi, can you interpret that D to tell me who is the owner of what land, even though it's been revoked? Ruderson said it clearly that it's been revoked because of some things.
But Clarence,
sir, I want a man to let a man read the D.
Let me put an objection on this thing first.
How you will say objection now?
Clarence,
Chief,
Clarence.
Sir, please. This is a public interaction.
No, the public interaction.
Stop all that thing about objection. I'm asking you a response. Let a man. Okay, go ahead. Let a man be reading.
Let me just say something like this. Clarence, you are a journalist. In our parties, news is what? Prominence, updated, and speed. What is dead is dead. You don't discuss dead news.
No,
give me chance.
No.
Unless you want to tell me that you want to pin at certain things in that place. The deed was revoked.
See, 1 minute.
Why
minute.
was
Then
revoked?
in a scene,
It can be discussed.
in a scene journalism,
Yeah.
saying you want to teach journalism,
Yeah, like what?
in a scene journalism, when you're writing news stories, you do something we call background that you know about.
Yes.
So that background there now.
We are not ready story on deed.
No, what?
We are not on deed.
Chief.
The background you will get in journalism, the background should reflect the story.
Chief, wait, 1 minute.
So, Clarence, I can't read the deed because places are supposed to read. It's not clear.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how the background is coming about.
Yeah.
Saying you want to do journalism.
Yeah,
When you are writing a news story about this deed, and you say the deed has been revoked, you will background that it can be recalled that so and so time the deed was issued on behalf of the person, but after the court went through a blah blah blah, it was revoked. So you got to do background.
In that case, there.
So Chief,
What is revoked?
forget it. They're not journalists. Say you say you can read it, I will read it. 1 minute. My eyes are clear. I will read it.
Clarence,
Bossman, please, sir.
The first
Hello, sir. Sir.
What if about the court? Let me discuss again.
Sir.
You know that one?
We're not in court. We're on radio.
But the court had revoked it.
Stop shouting. Let the people benefit the
They
discussion.
were benefit, but
The reason why.
Clarence,
Chief,
Clarence,
wait.
Paul Thomas was not dismissed because of the deed.
No.
Paul Thomas was never dismissed because of the deed.
Bossman, the reason why you know why we bring in the deed?
No, why? Tell us.
Paul Thomas argued that under Liberian law, one deed cannot be issued to two persons.
But that's a different discussion.
Akami Chief. And he insisted that this deed was issued to
Did he quote the law that says?
Story we are ready.
Bossman, Chief, please 1 minute. He insisted. You don't waste your time to make it look like
No.
It will not be good for the land.
You are wasting our time.
The deed. The man said the deed was given to two persons. The second thing the man raised with the deed was that the chair of the land authority signed this deed before the surveyor signed. The third thing the man raised with the deed was that the land was surveyed by a private surveyor. That is against the Land Authority Act. It should have been surveyed by a public land surveyor. The man raised issues.
Did you see the deed that was on in the media that was revoked?
Which
Did you
one?
see copy of the deed?
Do you have copy?
We have copy of the land authority, so we can give you copy of it.
You won't bring it?
I don't know where Paul Thomas got his deed copy from. This is the end result of the computer right industry that we
You are a journalist. You are following
So
up
that
to
deed,
So you know the deed?
no, absolutely.
Now, so when you call that day, you know Paul was talking about D. Don't you think it was fair for you to bring the D he was talking about?
Clarence,
No, Clarence.
you didn't trust it to journalism.
Clarence.
You have the right as a journalist to follow up to authenticate a document that is given to you by relevant authority.
Rosin fire.
Which you didn't do.
Shouting will not save you.
No. I want to give you the right to be done.
When we go into journalism at different
The allegation
Bossman,
is
is the man still bringing the investigation? Okay, sir. Thank you. The third guy will come in, and then we are having guys here from the land authority. Don't mind them.
Don't mind them.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
You could have gone to authenticate the
Sir, calm down.
Clarence,
sir,
listen to me.
Sir, can you please calm down?
I will calm down if you listen to me.
Rulers in fire. Stop the shouting.
No, I'm not shouting.
My second shout.
No, but that's how I speak.
Yeah, but please,
Okay.
please.
I would think that this conversation should be more moderate.
As we're talking, the time is going, and when your time ends,
But you don't want to have the time.
No, I want you to have it, but you were shouting. I'm
I'm
asking you to respond. The first thing Kwesi said was the D was not clear. I said I wanted to read it. Then you'll say you don't know about the D.
Clarence, there are particular areas I want to go read on the D. The first area I wanted to look at the diagram and look at the quantity of the lane. So, if you can read it. I did not see the quantity of the lane on the diagram on the D. So I say it's not clear.
But can I read it, sir?
Yeah, you can read it.
Then your man said I shouldn't read a D.
For me, I don't have any issue. You can read it because I want the conversation to be civilized so that the public can participate.
Can I read a D?
Clarence.
Since Clarence brought the D conversation, the D has been revoked. We'll reach to that point. The public need to be well informed.
I'm a journalist by profession.
Let me lead to to argue.
Clarence is a journalist by profession. You get it clear? I don't discuss dead issues. It's not prominence. Dead have been revoked by the court. Dead have been revoked. What is revoked is gone. We are here to discuss issues that matter to the public. Everybody know that the press conference will call on the D and be revoked. Why are we working their banners out? To do what with them?
Sir,
Sir,
sir, let's listen to you, sir. Just introduce yourself, sir.
Whatever.
Just pull the mark up. Pull. Yep. One minute. Something. There's something about something. Yeah, Emmanuel, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Clarence. Manuel Cheddar Davis, so sorry to be late. I was
okay.
I was not
okay,
sure
David.
of the time. I was like 9 to 10. Unfortunately, it was 8 to 9.
Yeah.
However, the case is, it's good to be here.
Okay, sir.
I've been following the conversation, with my earpiece while on the way, and there are several issues being discussed. I think that it is important for us to first understand the genesis of issues, and then understand the functions of the LIA, how the LIA operates, and then what are some of the reasons why decisions are made.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think that if to just walk into the conversation, if you look at the LIA, the Department for Policy and Planning is charged with the responsibility to ensure that policy, regulations, and everything are established, the people are informed, land regulations, and so forth is into place, and people know exactly what to do, how to do what they want to do. Now, the LIA is a technical institution. If you look at the function of the Department for Land Administration, that department is charged with the responsibility as per Article 8.1 of the LIA Act to ensure that surveyors, regulations are developed from the policy angle for surveyors, and surveyors conduct survey in the best interest of the public and as per their standard operating procedure or regulation. Now, let's go to the issue of how we decentralize and how our functions play, and why you see sometimes the chairman will have to maybe sign documents that come from. The LIA has a decentralized function across the 15 counties where the LIA is represented by whom? By people who we call county land administrators. These county land administrators are to ensure, because mind you, Clarence, the institution, the chairman may be chairman of the LIA, may be lawyer, but he may not be a technician to understand exactly how the land administration functions.
Yeah.
Because the function of the land administration is to ensure that deregistered surveyors are regulated and everything are done perfectly. The county land administrator, who is an administrative, who serves in an administrative capacity, is charged with the responsibility with the resident surveyor, so that when informations or documentations are coming from across the counties, it means that due diligence
has been done.
Is done, satisfied, and the chairman is informed to do his job. So you see, so the technician from the policy angle is ensuring that policies are developed, regulations are developed. All the chairman does is that he reaches to the board level, it is finalized, it is approved. The Department of Land Administration is to ensure that survey across the country is done perfectly, and then information comes per the information from the technician, the chairman's art. Now, this hulu balu of, the D is here. I was one person who, after that took place, we were designated by the chairman to ensure that the community are satisfied. We went to the community, we did our job, and I have video evidence of celebration in the community. Because let me tell you, the bottleneck of land reform is to ensure that customary rights are established. And how do we establish it? If there is a wrong established, it means that you have to go and right the wrong. What did we do? Did we sit at the LIA and say that, look, this thing are happening, maybe our technician didn't do well and whatsoever, so do we say that? We said no. What do? We went into the community and ensured that the customary land formalization is executed. Participatory mapping, boundary harmonization, community bylaws established, and the community now have equal, perfect title to their land ownership. The people of Tiandoji, what are you discussing? I have them in my phone celebrating. The people of Bianinko, they are in this phone, video evidence, celebrating. So what we are trying to tell the public, the LRA came to birth 2016. There is no way possible. Land reform is not an event. Land reform is a process. And to arrive at those processes, it means that we will, to some extent, there will be challenges. When those challenges come, we definitely have to resolve them.
You say what's your name?
I'm Emmanuel Davis.
What's your position at the LLA?
I'm the Assistant Director for Communication and Outreach. So what we did, Clarence, we went to the community and we were supported by our partners. We went to the community. As I speak to you, that community in question we are discussing today is at the verge of getting their statutory land deed, which will give them economic power, economic strength, and land rights and genuine security, wherein the residents of those communities will not be invaded on. The residents of that community land rights will not be taken from them by anybody who is in position which will contravene the act against the criminal conveyance of law of 2014.
Thank you,
so
Davis.
What we are saying,
let's move on. So in
Yes.
other words, and I
Yes.
agree with you, there will always be challenges. In other words, there were a lot of or some challenges associated with the issuance of the deed, and you again investigated as an institution and said, no, we got to cancel the deed.
it was revoked. We went to the community and
That is
ensured
why
that the
we
right thing is
revoked.
That's why
done.
we tell you, no, this question
Chief, sir, rulers in fire, you gave insurance. You know the reason why I'm asking for a name? Because it's okay. I don't want to say anything,
Tell
but
boy, get me
I think he's discussing. It's okay. Now, this is the statement to Councillor James T.Y. Fala, right?
Yeah.
Chairman, Special Investigative Committee, Liberia Land Authority. This statement is from Paul Alex Stolber, Assistant Director, Land Dispute Resolution Section, October 15, 2025. So apparently, he was summoned, and this is what he said to the investigation team.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's why we said to you, Clarence.
I extend my I extend my compliments and acknowledged receipt of your communication dated October 14, 2025, requesting me to make a statement relative to a land dispute case involving Blama Wright and the citizens township of Louisiana. Sir, the above mentioned case was forwarded to the office of the LLA chairman, former chairman at Tudin Adam Monuba Sr., through the former legal advisor to the former president, representing Finabondo and others, by the Honorable Court for Land Authority to conduct ADR investigation. The chairman instituted a team to investigate the matter and report findings to him for onward submission to the court. We successfully conducted an investigation, and a drafted report was submitted to the office of the former chairman for editing and approval. The former chairman did edit and approved the report. After the chairman endorsement, the report was forwarded to Director C. Sylvester M. Bondo and Commissioner Mahmoud Solomon for signing and submission to the court. For further clarity on the status of the report, please contact Commissioner Solomon. Best regard. This is Toba, right? Mm-hmm. But there's nowhere in our writing that he admitted to wrongdoing. He admitted to the investigation and blah blah blah. I didn't see that one else.
No, but Clarence, he was called for the investigation based on an issue of the same Blama right issue. Mm-hmm. Look at this report. These are receipts that is sent, which he admitted that he gave the instruction of them going to be audited. 32,000.
Fire 1 minute. You see, the difference here on the show the money is when you say something and I ask you to prove, then you make plow. You people said that you people have the document Paul Toba wrote. Mm. He admitted to the committee that are investigating that he did wrong. He did X, Y, and Z. Why I just read all the men saying, you people told me to do a piece of job. I did a piece of job.
Clarence,
I submitted my finding to my boss man. So any further inquiry, your contact my boss.
Clarence, they call for an invitation for this hearing because of the land dispute. I think that of a land dispute at the time. When that case arose, we told you earlier, they were Blama right and the poor car were issued based on the receipts that are presented. He was invited where he said that I gave instructions. With this report he has said, and he has written here, tells you that yes, we did the work. I said earlier before you read this thing here.
So where is a report where the man admitted that he did some bad thing that led to his dismissal?
Clarence, he may not be direct. He maybe wanted to be black and white. It may not be black and white, but The issue
No,
that
but I did when
It's
both of you.
admittance.
But when I did,
It's admittance.
I'm sorry, sir. But when you people call, excuse me, Davis, when you people call, you people say that you people have statement that the man made, the man admitted to the investigative committee that that was the result of his
But
dismissal.
that was admittance.
Admittance for what?
If he said that, yes, we investigated, and the report came up to what? To sell Dr. Mahmoud Solomon. And the report could have come out and go to the court. Why resurface the case?
Okay, sir. Let's take calls, David. I'm sorry you came late. Let's take calls.
Yes,
I wish you came earlier. It would have been too better, in my opinion, for the land authority. I really wish you came earlier. 0777700999 and 0555995995. Our WhatsApp number is 0555026995. These are the numbers to call. Let's hear from Liberians listening. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Clarence, Henry M. Grace, my name, and I joined the conversation on Renaissance.
Yeah.
And Clarence, what the meeting here is, people should always give credence and people should always give praises to their predecessors. For the communications department and consultant in studio says the entire system was ratting in my voice, and then it is on patio time. Everything trying to be vibrant.
Okay, Chief. Let's talk here. Hello.
Hello, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Councillor J. Augustine too.
Councillor Too, let's hear you, sir.
Yes, first of all, I got an observation. I listened to Tobo the other day when you were in the studio. I follow his whole something when I was to work. I listened to the gentleman in the studio representing land authority. I think they are not disputing whatsoever Tobo said.
Exactly.
Because their letter of dismissal to Tobo was clear as to what Tobo did. If at all they conducted another investigation that pinpointed financial impropriety, it should have been included in his letter of dismissal.
That's the point.
They should have been. Secondly, if they had an investigation and Tobo admitted, what is the investigative report?
What a report. They said they were bringing it, but now we're reading something else.
What is the investigative report? So I think something is wrong somewhere. They need to do better.
Thank you, Councillor Too. Let's hear other Liberians. Hello. Woo! You gotta cut our radio off. Hello.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's hear you. Good morning.
My name is David P. Dean. I'm stuck up in the traffic around Capital Junction. So let me say thanks this morning. You see, this is why sometimes we Liberians hear you for the investigative journalism. Yesterday we listened to our better Culver, and he was very much clear on things that are happening at the Liberian Land Authority. Just to bring in our two brothers. And they are jittering in it on things that they said yesterday when they called.
Exactly.
Because yesterday I monitored them when they called, more especially my uncle.
It was day before yesterday, actually,
day before yesterday, And he was clear on some things. Saying this.
We doesn't fire our clear. The man said the man admitted we got a report.
Yes. This morning, when they arrived at the studio there, they are saying quite different things.
Then the man bring whole journalism class for me.
What they have to do, that somebody said day before yesterday on the radio, they will have to bring this man back. They have no reason. They have no reason of sacking this man.
Thank you. You've said yours. Let's go back on this line. Hello.
Clarence, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Eric by here.
Eric, let's hear you.
Day before yesterday, we listened to Tobo. I don't know whether that is the Tobo.
Yeah, Tobo, yeah.
But this may pinpoint issues one by one. I have anticipated this morning that the media team will have come and, discuss this issue or dislodge them one by one, diffuse them one by one as the man stated. But instead, they are so combative. Listen, my own big brother, Rudolph Fire, is in there. He knows me. We meet every time. Rudolph Fire discusses issue to the core. He's an investigator. But this morning, I'm somehow disappointed that he's not discussing the issue the way it's supposed to be. The third person that just came to studio, he's the one that discussing issue bit by bit.
That's why I was asking for a leave.
Individual that first came, you so combative, and instead of discussing the issue, like you went to war with Clarence Jackson. No, Rudolph, the point right now is Clarence Jackson sit in a position where he asks the question, you answer. Otherwise, yesterday when you were answering the question, and when you ask us, we can answer. Today, he's in the seat. You should be answering the question.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, man. The man was tough yesterday. Today. Hello.
Yeah, Clarence. Good morning.
Good body, man. Good body.
Yeah, Clarence. For television, not for my name.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I call with someone.
Oh yeah, you call, yeah.
Okay. And I told you. To lie is hard. It's very, very difficult to lie. You see your police there. He makes instead of he providing evidence that the man is wrong. He argue with you. He not even say anything good. And let me tell you today. Let me tell you, Clarence.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Conclude quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. So Clarence. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. In short, let me just conclude. In short. I told you, I said the wrongest dismissal man, and the president is not even aware of it. And they need to just do diligence by calling the man so that problem can be resolved.
Okay, so the problem can be resolved. Hello, we're taking just 2 more. No time now. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Clarence. Good morning to your studio guest.
Good morning.
I think, my name is Bob.
Bob. Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, so I think, quite frankly, either my uncle did not have sufficient research and the evidence were not provided to him, because I know my uncle is one person who discussed issues to the core. But today, I think because what culminated his appearance was to bring those uncontestable evidence.
What to bring the evidence, exactly.
Yeah, that he has in his possession, but to come without those evidence, I think he needed to be responding to your questions one by one on the basis of the allegation that were brought by the gentleman for yesterday.
Okay, all right, Bob. Let's take the final one right here, man. We gotta go back to our friends. Yeah.
Clarence, thank you so much. And thank you for giving your colleague hard time, Rudolph in Fire.
I remember giving me hard time.
You know when that port or trouble dismissal letter, if it were to say you are dismissed for this and other matters, then that other matter they can provide justification. But you were direct. And besides that, Rudolph, you are a consultant to the public relations in the place there. You really got to resettle yourself. Shouting will not solve the problem. That confusion there, you got a lot of complicated issues. So when you come to discuss, you have those issues you're going to discuss and go straight to the matter.
Okay, sir. Thank you. It's okay. I will take this man out of courtesy, Emmanuel Gonkwe, quickly, 30 seconds.
Yeah, Clarence, good morning, and good morning to fellow citizens.
Good morning.
I think this issue of Port Talbot had conducted 3 different land investigations for me personally in the Painesville Belt, along with the Land Authority leadership. And, I was fighting against people with bigger pocket size and bank account. The Land Authority investigator headed by Port Talbot investigated my case and reported the findings. And I got my properties back, even though I was fighting against people who were in government during the Ellen Sully Johnson administration. So I'm a little bit both, I'm concerned, and I was going to call Port Talbot today and asking what really went wrong, because this guy, even though I did not have the kind of money that people in Ellen government were giving out on that case, but he stood firm. The Land Authority staff, the surveyor, everybody, they stood firm. And it awarded me my property. So I'm very, very concerned about this. I think the Land Authority needs to be very clear on this finding. I think there has to be some kind of investigation concerning Port Talbot dismissal and all of that.
Thank you. Let's go back to consultant rulers in fire. Fire, you can respond and just get your parting comments because we don't have the luxury of time.
Anyway, thank you. I know you are happy now because everybody supported you and against me. I don't care for that. The issue that
you agree. That did that thing. Just talk about what we can't talk.
Listen now. Let me tell you this. Maybe you are looking at an issue. What we are trying to analyze here is this. I can be investigating an issue. In that case, another thing come in that will double that issue. Portable investigator on that land issue, the investigator going on, and your investigator found guilty, pending determination on his act. Coupled with that particular issue that came of client money over 32,000 that Portable and Koli stole from those people. So, administratively, they saw that, but this guy, we thought that only one action he did, but coupled with these things, then there should be a determination. There should be a determination. I will tell you this, Clarence. You read a letter here, and you saw documents here that follow up of people money being taken away. Even the callers don't even care. Their friends, brothers, sisters, money were taken away by Portable and group 132,000, which they pocketed for their lay issue, and they never solved the problems. Today, they chairman inherited it. They don't care for that. They care for Portable dismissal. I will tell you that Portable without lay issue that he sold to Chinese people unilaterally. He sold the Chinese people unilaterally. You are being investigated, guilty, pending determination, just follow.
Okay, sir.
So you expect I'm just pointing later. He stole money, he stole land, he did this. Let me real. Your crime you commit.
If I were you when I'm coming to the kind of investigation, I swear to God, I will bring all those documents against that man. So the public will have an appreciation. But thank you, you didn't bring them. Question, let's hear you.
So let me just say, because I want to respond to one caller who said, we did not appreciate the past administration. I'm saying no. Let me say that majority of the people that were in decision making and land authority during Chairman Adam Motoba administration, they are still around. You have the executive director still sitting there. They made some of the major decisions and they are working still with Chairman Pacquiao. So we can't say they did not do anything. The reform even started doing the last administration. I will tell you that the deform today, that the new deform that we're talking about today, started on Adam Motoba administration. We are not saying that. We are saying that under Chairman Pacquiao administration, he was being vigorous on the reform and pushing it forward. And let us say with the issue of Paul Tauber. Paul Tauber went through his investigation. He was given due process, and the administration took the decision. That's what I want to say further about that.
Thank you. Except that he didn't bring that document where he was investigated and the fundings. Thank you. Davis, let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, Clarence, is like I said, it's so unfortunate that I came on the show when the show is almost ending.
Absolutely.
I would have loved. There's a whole lot of information that I would have wished that we have those conversations around. But then it's also good that we have a better understanding on how this whole D thing now.
Maybe I think I need to bring you. I think I need to bring you back or bring your back. Let's look at land authority exclusively. The work you're doing.
That. So just for
my include fire in our discussion.
Now, under the kind of circumstances.
So, Clarence, like I was saying, I mean, the whole D thing. I think from the explanation that I provided, one would say that I think we need to just lay down now because their intervention and everything is now perfectly done. The communities are cited. The people in those areas are cited. The full clans within the district of Bia is also cited. So we are moving forward with that. I would have loved to, chip in on some other issues, callers that came, but unfortunately, again, I cannot do it. But I look forward. To you inviting on us. We will be here, and then we'll have a conversation.
I will invite you.
No, you invite the team. You first invite the team.
You can tell me who I will invite.
I'm telling you.
All right, man. Thank you, guys. Don't mind with us. That's my uncle. Don't mind him. Okay, man. We're taking a break. When we come back, Chairman, Edwin Clark Martin asset recovery is going to be higher.
Showing loyalty to this nation like me. flesh is for bravery. The white on the flesh is for purity. The star is for republic. The blue fee is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 days of people, we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shining ever.
Okay. Councillor Erin Clark Martin will come in. Let's talk asset recovery. Where are we? He was in the UK recently. Did he retrieve some money? How many $1 million did he bring from the UK as part of the visit? Where is it? Central Bank now? We divine it? Or what? How much bridges we building? Erin Clark Martin is here and we'll start very, very shortly. The blue is for purity.
The star is for republic. The blue fee is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was signed in 1847. 11 days of people, we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shining evermore.
The flag of Liberia. Okay, so we'll bring down the music because our guest, Councillor Erin Clark Martin, is already here. Erin Clark Martin is the head of Liberia's asset recovery. He will be county attorney of Montserrat, move on to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, had a rough time there, left, and he's resurfaced at asset recovery. Let's give update. You know, he will talk to us about that thing. Councillor Martin, I'd like to say good morning, man. If you can just talk one time, which is good. But good morning. Welcome back to the country.
Thank you, Clarence. I'm happy to be back in Liberia and to resume work. And it's a privilege for me to be here this morning to talk to the Liberian people and to the press on conditions, progress, and maybe small challenges that we are faced with, but albeit the process is on.
Okay. Now, you know, for the sake of those who may have been listening for the very first time, I want you to drill us through. You know, what is the whole thing about the asset recovery? You know, what how can you get anybody understand the function of the asset recovery? Why was it created? Does it seek to solve any problem in Liberia? You want to come to the mic small and maybe you can live your height. You know, you're not like me. You're not short. It's okay. Just make yourself comfortable.
Thank you. Clarence, the work of the asset recovery, first and foremost, by its own establishment, is a constitutional right by the President under Article 5C of our 1986 Constitution. And I can read that portion of the Constitution for you verbatim. Article 5C of the 1986 Constitution. They say the Republic shall take steps by appropriate legislation and executive orders to eliminate sectionalism and tribalism and such abuses of power as the misuse of government resources, nepotism, and all other corrupt practices. Article 5C. So, based upon this constitutional provision, the President exercised his constitutional power under Article 5C to announce the asset recovery.
Okay. So what do you do? What do you do? What's your scope? Let's widen the discussion.
Our scope has been defined by Executive Order 145. And to go directly into the discussion, I will read for you count, or you can read it, count 6.
Count 6.
Yeah, you can read count 6.
No worries. I'll read count 6.
You can read count 6 and go
4, 5.
No, there's 6 there. No, yeah. What the asterisk is? I think that count 5. Yeah.
That count 5.
Okay, count 5. Yeah, thank you.
The core mandate of the Asset Recovery Task Force shall be to identify. Now, when they say shall, a binding.
Yeah.
Shall be to identify, trace, investigate, recover, and prosecute all cases of conversion of government assets to private use by any individual or group of individuals or body, corporate, partnership, sole proprietorship, or otherwise, and to retrieve those assets whether from within or without the Republic of Liberia, and returned them to the government of Liberia, thereby ensuring that justice is served and the public interests are protected.
Go to the next one.
The Asset Recovery Task Force is expressly authorized to undertake the following in execution and implementation of its mandate. A. Identify and trace all of Liberia's stolen and suspicious assets within and without the borders of Liberia. 2. Constitute investigative panels to probe into illegally acquired assets of the Republic of Liberia and suspicious assets. 3. Constitute an effective and robust legal research and investigative team as shall be required to assess it in effectively carrying out its mandate and initiate criminal prosecution and civic litigation where applicable on behalf of the government of Liberia for the recovery of stolen assets and or assets illegally converted and the repatriation of the recovered assets to the government of Liberia.
Thank you, Clarence.
That was Kobo.
Thank you, Clarence. I think you read it for yourself, and the Liberian people are listening. And this is the function for which we were established. And predicated upon this mandate, we are doing our work consistent with what Article 5C of the Constitution said, and the mandate given to us by the President under Article 5C, exercising the constitutional powers.
Okay. I know there was a first executive order, and there was another executive order getting you to hold on to stay on. Now, many Liberians say, you're quiet. At some point, they think they're not hearing anything from you. They're like, what's going on? I thought this team was set up to retrieve assets, prosecute, and this, that. Can you explain how your investigative process works in the first place? Why silence is sometimes necessary?
Clarence, we are not in the public to expose our strategy. Because since our independence and thinking the functioning of all government sector in our country, I think this is the first government that has established the asset recovery team and that has given it full support and presidential support.
I think one was established by Elling, another one by Josh. I remember Councillor Arthur Johnson, Serenial C.
I am saying this government has given its presidential will and unflinching support. In that we are not arm twisted. There's no day that I receive a call from anyone to tell me that, hey, stop. Hey, come to the mansion for investigation. Hey, why are you doing this? No. The process is so unique and it's so clear, transparent, that the international community, have given this process green light and credibility. To the extent that you will be informed that we have established sufficient links with our partners in the UK. And today we have even mailed some application in the British court, British High Court, with respect to Liberian assets that have been taken. But how be it back to the topic? We are working in conformity with the law. And our duty and responsibility is to ensure that all those that took government assets illegally and converted them to private use, they are under one obligation: by invitation, to show how you obtain it, and if we can establish beyond reasonable doubt, then we'll go to court. If under investigation you decide to say, hey, this was taken and I'm under obligation to return it, you return it. But where we see a probable cause to establish that this asset was taken and converted to private use, then we'll go after it and make sure. Our intent and purpose is to have that asset retrieved. That's what we are involved into. We are not in the process of coming on the radio to expose our tactics. Because, mind you, like I said, this is the first and most serious initiative by the president since our country gained its independence. That the president, he said, hey, my hands are off the deck. I'm not interfering. The legislature know, and we are not interfering. So you can see that the process is so transparent that we are not just going out to arrest and confiscate assets without the due process. We are using the courts, and we are using every available legal process to make sure that the due process is accorded you. But our neighboring countries, no, they don't do that. The duty is on you to show how you got the asset. But we got to prove through a court of competent jurisdiction that the asset belongs to the government. So if you see the process that we are going through, we are not just going out and going after people. No, that's why sometimes we remain silent to make sure that we conduct all our investigation behind the scene to establish the reasonable doubt upon which we can hold you accountable for that asset.
Now, Councillor Martin, at what point is it necessary? At what point does your investigation move from intelligence gathering to indictment?
We normally, what we do is that our intelligence base cannot be disclosed on the radio because we have serious conducting agents that are working for the asset recovery and that are giving us information relative to what we want and what we want to use in court so that we can disclose it on the radio. But after we shall have gathered our intelligence, we now invite you by that process for you to come and face us and explain upon which the process by which the asset was acquired. And if you come to us and explain that process, mind you, before you are invited, we already have our documentation, our pieces of evidence. And when you come to us, you will be confronted with those pieces of evidence for you to show your connection to how you are connected to those pieces of evidence. If by explanation you explain to us the process, and we see that there is no reasonable ground to hold you, we allow you to go. But where there is probable cause to hold you for those acts, then we explain to you that this is your fault. Are you willing to make restitution? If you insist that you want to challenge the authority, then now we can proceed to court and have you indicted. So this is how the process has been working.
Are there evidence of instances where people have agreed to make restitution and people have been paying some monies to government's coffers?
No, they are not. Since we started our investigation, you know, we were sanctioned by the Supreme Court on a former Chief Justice Yaneyo for a period of 9 months. And after that lifting of the ban by the Supreme Court, it was just effectively last year that we started. And the corruption crime investigation takes a long time. It's not like ordinary theft. It took a long time because we have to establish the guilt beyond reasonable doubt. And we have to make sure that all the pieces of evidence that we have sufficient enough to hold you, those evidence can be produced, and we'll confront you with those pieces of evidence.
Councillor Martin, there's been a lot of public discussions at street corners and intellectual centers and even on radio stations about certain institutions and foundations, including the latest, the Claudia Foundation, even though the matter is in court. But let's talk about you. How do you derive at a decision to investigate a particular institution? Are some of your decisions influenced by public sentiment? Are you cherry picking people?
No, Clarence, we are not cherry picking. I think you read the basis upon which we were established, and the count that you read that gave us the opportunity to investigate how people have used or converted government assets or resources into personal use. And our investigation is not only limited to that of former public officials, no. We are also involved into private institutions that government hired to carry out public function, and carrying out that public function, the resources that they accrued onto themselves. We also investigate that. So it's not only former government officials alone that we are involved when it comes to investigation. We also investigate private institutions that were involved into government functionary and government contracts. Howbeit, the Claudia Foundation is just one institution that we have conducting investigation. The investigation being on for the last 3 months. It's just that today, they were the one that exposed it in the papers. We were not the one. We are not in the business of putting our investigation in the public when we have not concluded on the investigation. We keep our investigation secret, and where the evidence is not sufficient to hold you based upon what we gather, we allow you to go and we give you a clearance. But it's so unfortunate that they will come in the papers and release the information and even the subpoena that was sent from the court. It's so unfortunate. But howbeit, they have filed to the court, and we will file a response to the court consistent with law. And we will show the reason why we are conducting the investigation, but we cannot say that on the radio now because the matter is not in court.
Come to think about it, Councillor Martin, I'm not a lawyer, but as a journalist, very eager to know a lot of things. I know that there is a fundamental principle under the rule of evidence that the burden of proof rests on the shoulders of the accuser. Why do you accuse people of wrongdoing and you call them for investigation and you say, can't prove, what are you, then you get it in? Bring your document, do that. I mean, why don't you prove that what you say is true? Why you ask me to adduce evidence against myself?
But we did not. If you look at the the trend of our investigation, we don't ask you to produce evidence against yourself, which is unconstitutional.
You don't do that?
No, we don't.
Doing your preliminary?
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. Before we invite you, we make sure that we have all the pieces of evidence.
In other words, you will provide all the evidence against me.
Yeah, I will provide the evidence.
Is that how you do?
That's how we do. We don't ask you for evidence. No. Once you are invited, you come to us. The only thing that we do, under the law, we have subpoena power because we are state investigating authorities, like the police, like any other state institution. We have subpoena powers, and that is subpoena power that we exercise. So we ask the court that, look, we are investigating the matter, and we request a subpoena, duty come to be served on the party to bring the document, go through the court. And that power is a power given to any investigating institution that is conducting investigation, that they can be used. The police also can use that power. Any other institution, investigating institution in government can also use that power. The LACC too, when I was there, we used that power too, the subpoena powers. So I don't know what's the issue, why people will be running around and making it to look like, no, we did not tell you bring this evidence, no.
There are a lot of cases you've been investigating. Can you just give us update on some? For example, the Saudi Rise, the Anita group of company, the MDMC, the Ministry of Finance, not finance, but foreign affairs, and all these cases. Can you give us particular updates?
We have managed to obtain 3 indictments in the Saudi Rise case. And it's so unfortunate that one of the defendants in the case, the Saudi Red case, Madam Sawyer, Comfort Sawyer, she's defending all the 3 cases that we have had. And she ran to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court sent a stay order on her with respect to investigating her or prosecuting her. And so we cannot proceed now because she in all the 3 indictments. The second case has to do with the Nora Finabondo case, the $6 million and the $11.3 million Liberian dollars. That case is also before the Supreme Court, and Comfort Sawyer is also in that case. Then we have the MDMC case with respect to the renovation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Comfort Sawyer is also a co-defendant in that case. So we have 3 cases that have been indicted and that are now pending before court for adjudication. And we are prepared any day. We have even tried to make assignment, but the matter is now before the justice in chamber. She has not sent the mandate down yet. So, but there's not stay on our work. There's no stay on our work to continue our function. So we are indeed carrying our function to make sure that you will have about 40 cases plus.
40 plus cases?
40 plus cases.
You mean that you are currently investigating?
These cases are in ascending order when it comes to financial range. Like the lowest of all the cases, like maybe like the Saudi rates, 500,000. Like a case I will have now, I will not give you the name of that case, the title of that case is about $21 million.
$21 million?
$21 million, where people in government at the time converted that money into their personal use.
Now, a few individuals whose names have been mentioned in some of the cases are not within the bailiwick of Liberia. As an institution, what do you do to get them before the court?
We are working along with our international partners to make sure that, like I had the opportunity to visit the UK and have discussion there, and I would not be able to disclose, so you have the discussion. And we are also using other means through which we can make sure that they are brought under the jurisdiction of our courts. The asset recovery is not in the business to wish on former officials and even current officials, no. That is not our business. This is why you see that we are extremely quiet when it comes to our investigation. We are not in the business to disclose these things on the radio and to the public. No, that is not our business. When you are invited under the law that you just read, the executive order, we keep our investigation in confidence. We don't disclose it. Because at the end of the day, when we don't see probable cause and sufficient evidence to hold you, we allow you to go. There are other former government officials that have been coming to our investigation. They have never disclosed it. They came and they explained their involvement into the process. And we did not see sufficient evidence to hold them based upon what we had. And we dropped them. But this idea of people running to the public, small investigation, you disclose it to the public. Oh, I'm being invited. We are not breaking your doors.
Some people think they're being witch hunted.
We are not breaking your doors. We are not using machetes to run after you. All we do is to go through the court process and inform you that, look, we want this document from you. And what's the big deal? If you know that your hands are clean and clear, bring those documents. Why you jump on the radio press conference and this and that? We are not involved into competitive press conferences and articulation in the public. No, that is not our business. That is not the modus operandi for which we were established by the president. No.
Now, in your last appearance here on this particular show, I remember you spoke about engagement or engaging with partners in the United Kingdom. Can you tell us the current status of that process? And should Liberians realistically expect anything from international asset recovery?
Yeah. You know, if you went through our core mandate, and we, fortunately for us, we have established serious international engagement with partners in the UK, with partners in other countries. And during our engagement with our international partners, specifically Grant Thornton, we were informed of a situation involving Liberia assets in the tune of 8 million British pounds. That this company was also held liable from its own investigation So we thought it wise to make sure that we work along with them to ensure and see how best we could bring this to fruition. And we paid a visit to the UK on 2 occasions, and we worked with our international partner there. We saw the evidence, the pieces of evidence. We established it and made sure that they were worthy enough to see how best Liberia could recover that money. We came back and we worked with other institutions here that were connected. And fortunately for us, today we have done our first filing in the British court.
In the British court?
In the British court. And that court is the High Court of Justice and Property Court of England and Wales. That application has been filed. And I signed a witness statement on behalf of Liberia. And we, after the filing of that application, we had to now appear in court and justify that this amount of money is for Liberia. And based
You're talking about, you say why, a little over 8 million?
Yeah, 8 million British pound.
Pretty close to now 10 million US dollars. In that neighborhood.
Yeah, in that range. And the company involved was Albatross Limited. And mind you, that case has been in the UK for the last 10 years, 10 to 15 years. And fortunately for us and for our international partners, they managed to inform us that this is Liberia interest. Once you go after it, because you had the asset recovery by the authority granted to you under the Constitution, this is a road to make sure that all international assets that have been stolen from Liberia, make sure you recover them. And we have been working with our partners. Fortunately for us, as I said, the application has been filed in the British court, and we are now.
So you will be going there to appear?
I will have to go to the.
What, a team of lawyers or what?
Yeah, the lawyers are already in the UK. We have already hired.
We hire lawyer from that side.
Yeah, we have hired. We are paying them already.
Do you think the evidence is strong enough to get the money back?
The evidence is strong from the filing, the petition that was filed, the wind-up petition, and that was filed by the lawyers. And I managed to sign the witness statement. I was supposed to appear in the dock in the British.
You will testify?
Yeah, to testify for on behalf of Liberia and to provide reason why Liberia needs this money.
When could that be?
The filing has been done, and we are waiting for assignment of the case now in the British court.
Now, sometimes when one government leaves after a legitimate democratic process and another government takes over, there are a lot of speculations about, the people saw the car, the people carry the car. Have you been able to gather any information about asset in the tomb? I mean, in terms of logistics, vehicles, government car leaving here, going to other countries that we got information on or we've been able to retrieve?
Clarence, to be very frank with you, I'll be working in consultation with the General Services Agency Director. What we did was, after we were established for the first time, we sent up a committee that were responsible to make sure to identify all government coded assets. And most of the assets that we identified at the time were procured through GSA by former government officials. Not under this present GSA, but former GSA director. So as we can say in common terms, the Bordeaux cars. So we could not go after them. But howbeit, I think the GSA now is working on the new program to make sure how government assets are disposed of. And but howbeit, from our own internal investigation, we have not, and for now, when it comes to the issue of vehicles, we have not discovered any vehicle yet that was stolen. All the vehicles that we have come across, when we trace it and subpoena the document through the court, or the person bought it through the GSA, or they obtain payment document through the GSA. So it makes that hard for us. We cannot. And other cars were not coded. Some cars that were procured by government, they were not coded by the GSA coded system. So we cannot count for those vehicles. So how do you trace a vehicle that were not coded by the GSA? So that has been the situation. But currently now the GSA is doing a fantastic job They are holding all government assets.
When you invite people to appear before you for questioning, do they go with their lawyer?
Yeah, definitely. We, in the invitation, the due process is exercised under the Constitution. We invite you, we ask you to come along with a lawyer, and if you don't come with a lawyer, we ask you to go back and get a lawyer and come to our office for investigation. You are not questioned without a lawyer. No, we don't do that. That's why the process, supposedly the process is slow. No, the process is not slow. We're trying to make sure that all those that we invite, they are strictly under the ambit of the law.
When you investigate me, do you give me or my lawyers your findings?
We don't disclose findings. The only thing that you have access to is your statement that you have privilege to write before your lawyer.
So if I am to challenge your finding, it will only be in court?
In court, only in court that you can do that. And you will not challenge it in court until you are indicted. Most of the investigation that we conduct, sometimes we don't see probable cause to hold people accountable. There are several government officials, I don't want to name them here, that we invited, and we also kudos to them. They were highly responsive. They came with their lawyers, we went through the pieces of evidence, and we did not see the probable cause. And Guto told them they did not want a radio. They never wanted a radio to disclose that, oh, asset recovery after me, this and that. And those citizens are law-abiding citizens. But it's so unfortunate that we just invite you, or we subpoena documents for you. You jump on the radio. In the mind of the common man, something there to hide. Something is there to hide. Because nobody going after you. We're not breaking your door down. No. With no sheriff standing to your gate. It's just only a simple subpoena. Bring this document. If you have it, I have it. If you don't have it, I don't have it. Mind you, before we invite you, Clarence, before we invite you, have done in-depth analysis about you and your institution.
When does it become necessary to go after people? Because I'm asking because you say we can go after you, sharing out to your door, but there was this information that the asset recovery went to Finabono's residence to arrest her. There was a particular time that Coach Sherry and other people were there, somewhere in Brewerville or somewhere.
Oh, it was when the indictment was.
Oh, when the indictment, it was the court that did that.
Yeah, they indicted.
Not the asset recovery.
You don't see people. You don't see my investigators to your door. You never see one investigator to the asset. In fact, you don't even know the investigators.
Why should we trust that your work is without influence?
But Clarence, look at the cases that we have investigated. If I were to name the cases and the former officials that we cited for our investigation, they're the best evidence. They will tell you that we're not witch hunting anybody. But you know, that's the first thing in our country. So people say, we're happy. Look, when I served as president of Nasiwa, when I was at the LCC,
what is the Nasiwa?
The network of anti-corruption body in West Africa.
Okay.
When I served as president for them, and vice president at the time, and my immediate vice president was Ben Kafala, who is now in the
guy is raging hell over there.
And Ben said, Martin, if you embark on the process of fighting corruption, your first 2 years will be difficult. He said, it happened to me. He said, my first 2 years in Sierra Leone were very difficult. To the extent that I almost gave up. But he said, don't give up. You have to be strong. You have to be resolute. And today, Ben is succeeding. The people of Sierra Leone today are appreciating Ben for what Ben is doing. Ben just called me, I think, 3 or 4 days ago. He said, Martin, I hear that you're still going through the thing in tongue. I said, yes. He said, but don't give up. That is the process. Because, Clarence, between you and myself, you work in government, and you acquire some properties, and you know what you did to acquire the property, and we are now coming after you. You'll fight with your blood and your sweat. You'll fight back. You will not give up. You will definitely fight. You will use someone, due influence and all, to fight. So I'm not surprised at what people are doing. Because it happened to my colleagues in the West African basin and to my colleagues in Africa. It happened. When we used to go for conferences along with Ben Kafala, people used to bring their story up. Some people die in the process. Some people escape the countries in the process. But today, we tell God, thank you for where we are. that I know why I'm partying with the LSCC. You know the story.
When you want people to, why you want people to speak on radio? Why the people could think that you are saying hiding something. That why you get one for people to come up with the disclosure that you are doing something that they don't like.
Like what?
No, you were saying we're not hurting you, we're not harming you. Why are you running to radio? Why wouldn't you want people to come to radio? Why are you too hiding to that you want people to talk?
That is right. That Clarence, excuse me, that is right. That is right under the law to come to the radio. Well, we're not hiding anything. That is right to talk. But what I'm saying here is that this is a strange thing in our country.
Do you have trained investigators?
I'm very trained. Trained investigators we have. We have trained investigators. And now we're going to do that. We're going to polish their skills. Because my last trip that I made to the UK, we're going to have some opportunity with some of our partners. They're the Omnian LLP, owned by the former wife of the Prime Minister, Sherry Blair. Yeah, she's heading that institution. They have offered us to train our investigators. So we have trained investigators that are going after the cases. People will not just come and say, "Oh, no, definitely."
Are there room for compromise? Compromise in the context of negotiation. You invited me. You have evidence against me that I constructed maybe 3 horses in a tune of this day, or I took something and I come to you and the facts are glaring and I say, you know what, I've conceded. I don't want to go to court. Can we arrange a payment plan? Do you take that?
Yeah. When I served as chairperson of the LACC, we did that. And there was some payment plan, people were making payment, people were restituted. We're not in the business to prosecute you. We're not in the business to, take advantage of your rights. But once we prove the case to you and they have evidence to show that, look, this is your involvement into the conversion of this public asset. And you come and say, look, I'm willing to restitute. We give you that benefit of the doubt. When you are invited or with subpoena document, it does not mean that you are guilty. Let the public know. Once you are invited or with subpoena document through the court, it does not mean that you are guilty. But once you start filing resistance, when you start going on the resistant trend,
it doesn't also mean that you are guilty.
It doesn't also mean that you are guilty.
You're just using the available proceedings under the law.
Yeah, you use the available proceedings under the law. But wherein that you have a clear conscience to say, look, I don't have anything to hide. Like we investigating one company that are involved into construction of a lot of things. I don't want to call the company name. People went to the company, oh, come, let's go to court. And I said, no. You took 2 boxes and carried them to the court, we collected them. So I don't see why people...
2 boxes of our evidence?
Evidence! Took them to the court. We are not working on them. So why would people keep running to the court, oh, this and that? At the end of the day, RF will still conduct investigation. They had us down for 9 months. We came back. And those same people that took off for 9 months, we came back, we saw the piece of evidence against them. Today they are indicted.
Okay, Councillor Edwin Clark Martin chairs Liberia's Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force. He's here as our guest this morning. We're asking him, he says, well, he has filed some legal papers in the UK. If all works well, he's supposed to go there to testify. If they won that case, for example, around $9-10 million in US dollars, which is around a million British pound. They've noticed that it's over there and they want to get the money back to Liberia, so they will be doing the legal representation and all these things. 077770099505559959995. The WhatsApp number is 555-026-9995. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence. Thank you very much for the program.
Good morning.
I'm Eddie Johnson. I call from Singapore.
Okay, Johnson.
Yeah, Clarence, I would like to know from Councillor Martin as to relate to the statute of limitation. Does the statute of limitation affect his work?
Brilliant question. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Dada Augusta and I call from District 10.
Yeah, Augustus.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Martin. I listened to you, but I was hearing Clarence was talking about something like somebody producing evidence on themselves or the body of proof. Clarence, the body of proof can be shifted to the accused. So now they say alone how the body of proof, the proof to show to you.
Our stage can it be shifted? I know it can be shifted. Our stage can it be shifted?
Okay. For example, you are renting in my house and you pay from January to December. You say you pay, and I think you didn't pay the money. So it's shifted to you to bring the receipt I give you. I think that the body of proof can be shifted.
Okay, sir. Let's go to North Dakota in the U.S. and take this call. You guys will not sleep just to get on. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to Councilor Edward Clark Mountain.
Good morning.
My name is Jacob Gossin, and I call from North Dakota, USA.
Okay, Jacob. Let's hear you. His name is actually Edwin and not Edward.
Oh, Edwin Clark Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually tricking me because you see the issue of fighting corruption in Liberia is like a Christian thing. Because at the end of the day, you come to say you persecute certain group of people. People get excited to people being persecuted for the way they handle the country. At the end of the day, you got a court system that is very weak. You got people sitting in the court and they will not do their job, but then they're being well paid. So every time people go to court, you see them now say, oh, I went to the Supreme Court. And when they go to the Supreme Court, they sit on the cases for months. For example, look at the yellow taxi case. You got to call it the yellow taxi. For 9 months, you had after recovery clean down. For no other reason, they put to jail.
No, but it was for a reason, and the court process is a whole process, brother.
Clarence, it's sickening me. It's not the only court who's in the world. We are seeing other courts. For Labrador, it's worse. Then they try.
Thank you, my brother there from North Dakota. Hello.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Piso, my name is Pony. I'm irresistible. I speak from Morovia. I have left my sabbatical.
Pony, let's hear you. I think so too.
Mr. Mante, I want to thank you for the work that you do. I want to thank you very much. This is my first question. My line of question is going to start with, do you feel threatened? Do you have security? That's one. What do you have state security assigned with you? This is a very critical job. I saw the Nigeria Anti-Corruption Commission has a lot of security behind the chair. That's one. My second question is that, what do you have in the budget? What do you have something substantial enough? Because I've heard that sometimes people come behind closed door and testify, and then you have to compensate them, people who have valuable information. Do you have something substantive? Because the last budgetary process, they were kind of a test from you. And then my last question is that, do we have international partner that is collaborating with you?
Okay. Thank you. Let me go on this other line. Hello, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, my name is Andrew Wisse. I joined you from Bandos.
Yeah, Andrew.
So I listened to Mr. Clementine, and it's a good thing for our country, and we hope that this fight don't be a partial fight. Let's look beyond all reasonable doubt that we can be able to bring home all those that will be held liable for stealing the Liberian people money. But we will not want this fight to be a political fight. Let us make it to be a fight for the nation, because Liberia has suffered so long, Clarence. There are many people in this country go to bed hungry. And we're good that when Clementine can be able to bring this money back, and the new government that will be coming, or the government that will continue in 2029 will continue on this fight, that will be a good thing. It will set a precedent in our nation, that people will not come and steal the country resources and just go without justice. So we want them to do the good job, but the job should not be based on political line. Thank you so much for phoning over to.
Okay, Andrew. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Clarence.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for taking my call. I'm Beto, calling from Johnsonville.
Okay, Beto.
Yeah, so I just want to appreciate the honorable man in studio. But I have one question.
Go ahead.
Is this asset recovery team, most especially Honorable Clark Martin, was appointed only to investigate the past president and his associate? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let's hear you too. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Councillor Martin. My name is Segun Gardner. I call from the GMP and JGA Dream for Better Labrador Foundation.
Okay.
Councillor, I would like to draw something to your attention. We witnessed the FBI inviting former President George Weah to their headquarters. FBI investigate money laundering and terrorist financing. Can you write the FBI to give you pieces of information to support your work? Thank you.
Okay. Let's hear you here. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
My name is Daniel City, and I call you from District 10, the Mosquito Last District. Thanks so much to Honorable Martin this morning. I want to say something here. I think the investigation is going on, and I don't think it should be friendly. But if somebody's phone cover, there's couple cause, to find somebody guilty, I think they should pay the money, and then there should be some kind of punishment. Because
why if the president is not willing to pay the money, and the president say, I did nothing wrong. If you think I did something wrong, go to court.
Yeah, but if they go to court now, and when they are found guilty, they have to go to jail.
Okay, let me take the final call right here. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Clarence. This is Nikan People. Let me say good morning to Councilor.
Happy New Year, big brother. It's been a long time.
Many happy. Yeah, I have this habit of declaring a self-journalistic sabbatical. It takes sometimes 4 or 5 months.
That's good sometimes.
And I do it every year. It's important for meditative purposes.
Yeah.
I have the opportunity to reflect on many things. So I'm ending it now, and that's what I'm calling.
Okay.
Yeah, but like your previous callers would appreciate all the work the assets recovery team is doing, even though I have an issue fundamentally with this establishment. But again, like everybody else has said, the major concern Clarence needs to focus on is to ensure that there is no semblance of selectivity in the way people are prosecuted, because we know every government before now and going forward has got some bad elements. So we should try to balance it as much as possible. You don't want to give the impression that only the CDC, government officials are being prosecuted. So let them try to balance. It will give it some degree of credibility and independence. That's just the caution I want to say. Thank you.
Okay, Gabriel. Councillor Martin, let's come back to you.
Thank you. The first issue has to do with the statute of limitation. And by law, the statute has its limitation for 5 years. And once it did not come, the perpetration of the crime did not come in the public glare or the notice of the investigating agency, then the statute will not told. But where it has been brought to the attention of the agency or the investigating committee, the statute starts to run. So you cannot hide on the cover of the statute when the act has not been noticed by any investigating agency. So when the investigating agency take cognizance of that action, the statute starts. So the affirmative defense of the party will be that, hey, I was invited, I made my statement, after the 5 years, that's an affirmative defense in court. But no one will dwell on that statute where there were no invitation extended to you, there was no investigation conducted. So when you file that in court, once you were charged for any felony of commercial or financial act, and you file that in court, the defense of the prosecution will be that the statute will not told because you were never brought to notice. Notice is a cardinal principle of our law, and it serves as a benchmark upon which the state can act. So that's the first question. Somebody asked, do I have security? Well, yes. I can disclose the nature of security that I have, but I think God is guiding me. Thank God for His presence over me, and thank God for the Ministry of Justice and the Liberian National Police. Yeah, we have a budget now, and you all have been fighting for us. I want to say, Clarence, kudos to you. You have been fighting, and we have a budget of $2 million. And that is a good start for us to get the ground running. Then what are your international? Oh, we have sufficient international partners. We have the Grand Tonton that have been working with Liberia, working with, before the asset recovery was established, but because of, I think, lack of support, they could not continue. We have Grand Tonton, we have the FTI consultants that came here, and you saw them. And then we have the former wife of the Prime Minister, Sherry Blair. She's also working along with us. She's running the institution that working along with us in the UK. Then another question. No, we're not investigating past officials. And one would think that this institution was set up to go after. No, let me just clarify this thing today. This institution was not set up to investigate past officials. No. Like former director of the GSA, Mary Bro, she working in this administration, we investigated her. We investigated Mary Bro, and we indicted Mary Bro. So why would people think that we are investigating only past officials? No, we are not going after only past officials. We are also investigating current officials as the law provides. So somebody said I need to write the FBI. I cannot write the FBI. The FBI is a secret intelligence agency strictly under the American law. No, that we cannot do. So the investigation, the last caller said we should balance. The investigation is how to balance. We're not going after people on the basis of which one. Let me just clarify this thing here. We're not going after people on the basis of which one. We're only looking at the pieces of evidence that we have in our possession. When the evidence is waiting, we call you, ask you to come and explain. And once you explain, we don't see the reason to hold you, we drop you. That's our form of officials that we invited.
Do we expect more indictments?
And like I said, I have 40 cases plus more. And our investigation...
You mean pending?
Pending. And our investigation is in the ascending order. If you notice now that we started with 500,000 United States dollars. We are going to 2 million. We're going to 10 million. And now we are currently investigating $21 million.
Councillor Clarence, I'd like to say thank you so much. Let's hope that we can always have you coming here to talk to our people, except that, like I said, sometimes you have to farm because of the nature of the work you do. But as a Liberian, I will be very happy. But by the way, is the case in the UK that you're supposed to go after, is it a criminal matter? I'm asking because I remember once upon a time, Serenius Seaforth, when they were at that asset record, they found some kind of thing in one British court and something like that. Is the case criminal? Company, is it about somebody stealing money from here or what?
That company, the group of guys got together. I don't want to call the names.
Okay.
Some Liberians.
Okay.
Other people gather together, establish that company under the pretense of carrying on some activities in the maritime sector.
Okay.
And they were collecting money from companies in the New York company and registered on the shipping lines from Liberia. Albatross.
Okay. Let's leave it like that. Councillor Martin, thank you so much for coming. Edwin Clarence is the head of the Asset Recovery and Purposely Retrieval Task Force. Thanks to the Communication Director, Joseph Daniels, who made this possible. Thanks to all of you for always listening, man. Oh, hard work without play makes Jack a dull boy. I'm taking my usual weekend break. Catch me in if you can. The next time you hear me here, by the grace of God, will be on Monday. Let me say thanks to Poye. Poye, we just blessing him. We are all here, man. Bye-bye. Tomorrow is Blessing's birthday. Unfortunately, we are not on radio, so I can do her usual thing. Tomorrow she will be turning. Tomorrow is her birthday. Happy pre-birthday to you, Blessing Nimland. My name is Piso.